Yeah.
That's
Get you a
vending.
hot dog here.
Yeah, $25 for popcorn. Thank
I
you.
wouldn't be able to do that. No, I actually, speaking of, I guess, first jobs, one of the other first jobs I once had is I was a paper boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Did you have to go and knock on the doors and go collect, or did they?
Nope.
Or you were too young for that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I remember when the paper was delivered. When I was a kid, they'd come knocking at the door. They said collect with a little book, and like, here you go.
Yeah.
And that would be that. Now, of course, you pay
That's
online and
funny.
stuff like that.
What about our leader? What was
Eric.
What was your first job?
What was your first job there, Captain?
Let's see. Right after,
Probably a 900 number.
Oop. Whoa. Okay.
yeah, let's see. You know what I did? Let's see. What was my first job? This is, I mean, if you believe it or not,
First job, not
When
the
I-
best job.
all right, first job I ever had, and this is true, I was 13 years old and I sold Fuller Brush door to door.
You sold what?
Really?
What'd
Now-
you sell?
I don't know what Fuller Brush is.
Well, that's because you're an asshole, but anyway. Yeah.
All right. Okay. What time is it?
8:08.
Okay, 8:08. Okay. Lisa got the prize at 8:01.
Kidding.
I
I'm,
have
Okay.
really been good.
I'm just kidding.
I
I'm
really
sorry.
have.
Okay.
Oh, say, Philip, he said a bald word. Anyway, Heather Clairlander, I love you
So
out there.
how did you?
Do you know what Fuller Brush is? Fuller
do.
You know what Avon is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of
Okay.
course.
Well, Fuller Brush used to be a
Yeah.
company like Avon. Oh, and what it was I was like 13 years old, and I did everything from newspaper routes and all that other crap to. So anyway, there's an article in the local penny saver, and my grandfather drove me down to this building in Comac, and the guy gave me this suitcase that had a bunch of like kitchen utensils and that type of stuff in it, and I would actually go door to door, knocking on the doors and selling this stuff.
How did you do?
Did pretty good.
Really?
Did pretty good. Yeah, it was like.
Selling's in your
See,
blood.
that's the thing. See, you know what it was back in. I always had that. I was always trying to coordinate, if you want to call it that, and get things organized. That type of thing. I did well with it, and then after that, I mean, I was a dishwasher. I worked at Howard Johnson's in Smithtown. There was actually a Howard Johnson's restaurant in Smithtown. I worked at Hefty Heroes. I've been all over the place. What else did I do as a kid? Paper routes, penny savers. Back in those days when they had the penny savers, we used to have to bag them ourselves, and then they had to be on the doorknobs. You had to literally hang. If you remember the bags they used to have with the little holes on the top, you used to have to hang them. You couldn't throw them on the driveway. You had to walk up to the house and actually hang it on the door.
Now, I have a question about that. My Newsday is delivered. It's thrown on the driveway, and yet every time I pay my bill for
Right.
the Newsday, there's a tip expected.
Right.
And it's like all you're doing is throwing it on the driveway. You're not bringing it up to the door. You're not making sure it doesn't
You're
get
not bringing
wet.
me coffee.
Right.
Yeah, so I kind of rankles me with that. But then I feel bad because I'm sure whoever's delivering it, they're not making a
They're getting up.
pile of money.
Here's the thing: what happens with Newsday? Because I had a Newsday route, Fort Salonga
Yeah.
and Northport. And here's the thing: you're getting up at 3:00 in the morning.
True.
These bees, and they're going to a warehouse over there in Hauppauge, and all their papers are in bundles. And then depends on the amount of inserts and things like that they have in the paper that you have to put them together, and then you have to put them in the plastic bags, and then you load up your truck or your car, and off you go. So the thing is,
Now I feel
it's
bad.
it's different about. It's different. It's different than what it used to be. In other words, it used to be where you had a paper boy who delivered the paper, and he'd show up every Friday and knock on the door and go collect, for
Okay.
Newsday.
Yeah.
So in today's world, you don't really have that personal relationship with your newspaper guy, but yet your newspaper guy is it depends, and you're absolutely right. If he is not showing any type of. The bottom line is with tipping. Tipping is to be able to is giving somebody something for extraordinary service. If they're not providing you extraordinary service, then you don't have to feel obligated to tip anybody. I tip my garbage men because they go above and beyond throughout the year.
Well, I have a thing about tipping. I've never stiffed anybody in my life.
Sorry.
Oh, brother.
Sorry.
Anyway, okay, 8:01.
Jay, have you ever
Okay.
stiffed anybody in your entire life?
I was once in Rikers Island.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Anyway,
I want to
Next.
say good
Okay.
morning to my cousin. He says, "Good morning, cuz. I love you. I love you too."
Nice.
His first job, my cousin Vinny. His first job was working for Long Island Septic with my grandpa Monaco, shoveling and cleaning trucks.
nice Jewish family.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's
all
a
right.
tough job. Wow. But
Really?
I want
Go ahead, what
to
were you
I want to
saying,
talk
Ellen?
about tipping too, because people automatically expect a tip. I mean, I've never ever, as I said, I've never not left a tip for a waiter or a waitress or something like that. But as far as
I got my nails done like a while ago. Jace knows the story because he called me that day. I gave a $6 tip. It's $8 to get a manicure. So I gave her a $6 tip. She goes, "This is my tip," and I said, "She goes, that's it." She
That's
said, "That's
it?
it." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Are you kidding
now
me?
that's the height of rudeness. But
I just
wow.
looked at her. I looked at my nails. I looked at her. I looked at the tip I left. I'm like, "Would you like nothing? Like, would
Good
you like
for you.
nothing?"
That's so rude.
It
That's
was very
just so
rude. Never went back.
Well, actually I was getting my nails done a few weeks ago, and I used my debit card to pay. I didn't have any cash on me.
Yeah.
And to leave the tip, she said, "You don't have cash?"
Yeah.
And I said, "No,
So
I don't."
Silver Guardian Rose
Wow.
on
Yeah.
stream says, "My first job was working at a Burger King as a kitchen supervisor."
Oh, we want to hear some stories about that.
I worked at Roy Rogers, and they used to make me wear a cowboy hat and say, "Round 'em up and howdy."
Get
Daisy
out.
says, "Daisy says I was stock person for
Do
a
it
gas
now.
station."
Say it.
Round 'em up. And then you used to know if you worked behind the counter and you were doing the hamburgers got cooking,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you would put it together and you put it out for the person at the counter to take
Mm-hmm.
it and you go round them up. And then if you were at the counter and you were doing the register, if somebody walked up, you had to say, "Howdy."
No, that's ridiculous.
Can you picture me in a little? First off,
Yeah,
the
seriously.
freaking cowboy hats were like the fire department hats that they give out, for the kids, a
Yeah.
little plastic flower. So this thing on the top of my head didn't fit my large head here, right?
Do you
And
have pictures of this?
the only reason I worked there, and this is true, and I know she's listening right now too, it's funny, is there was a girl that I knew that I grew up with when I was in CAP. Her name was Lori. And Lori I was infatuated with this girl, and Lori worked at Roy Rogers, which is now Wendy's in Comac. And
She's still there?
No, when I went there, I got a job there, she quit.
Isn't that stalking, though, a little bit?
Yes.
In this day and age, it would be stalking, correct?
She did say, what's funny is that Lori, we talk on Facebook sometimes, and it's like she tells everybody whenever we get into a group conversation how I took her to her first formal, her first formal.
Okay.
And she said the other day, she says, he was very handsome. That's what she said.
You?
So- You guys are funny.
Oh, that was so easy. I'm sorry. You know I'm kidding.
Okay,
You know
well,
I'm
it's
kidding.
That was really freaking funny.
Did she just say the bad word again?
No,
I did not.
She said freak.
I said freaking.
I'm
freak.
sorry.
That's not a
No.
bad
Jay,
word.
you better jump in here and defend me and say something, all right?
You're
These- they're
so
making-
Listen, we're
handsome.
still mad at you
That
about
looked great.
Employee Appreciation Day.
Yeah,
We got
yeah,
nothing.
easy
We didn't
for
get
me to
Brooklyn
say.
bagels. We didn't get flowers.
We got
we didn't get
focus.
love.
Yeah.
We didn't get
Nothing.
We didn't get
Yeah.
nothing.
What she said. So there.
Hold on. I've written up. I have something to read here.
Oh.
I've written this up.
Yeah.
I have to Google something.
I've written this up. It says, we here at Cop and Career in the Morning do truly appreciate the efforts that our employees do put forth throughout the workday. We apologize, in fact, for foremost forgetting Employee Appreciation Day and hope that you will find forgiveness in your heart and be able to establish a relationship of working performance throughout the year. Signed, corporate.
Totally made that up.
Excuse me, you are the corporate, so that's still you.
Still you.
What's that supposed to be?
Anyway.
Are you seething? What was that?
I don't know. He was like acting like he was smoking pot, but it's like you don't do that. So
Hey, man,
that's
yeah,
no, you don't do that. Oh, stop now. Seriously, really?
Anyway.
Now, had you got us something
Yeah.
or done something for us, what would you have done?
I would say
Put a little thought into it, Eric.
what she said. What she
If
said.
you were going to give
Yeah.
to each of us,
Yeah.
what unique gift would you give each of us?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah.
Unique gift? You
And
really-
why is Jay so quiet?
If
It's
I could-
Yeah.
freaking me out.
So in
I'm
other words,
typing, that's why.
if I could give you anything in the world, what would I give you? You're asking me.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Money,
And it
money,
could be-
money, money.
Money. We're on a roll today.
I know, sister. We're
Wow.
doing well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Well, let's see.
We're on the same wavelength. That's right.
For Helen,
Oh, a muzzle? Never mind.
I would give Helen my 100% attention for a full 24 hours.
Oh.
What would you do, Eric?
No, sorry,
Wow,
as far
this
as
is getting-
work-wise and stuff,
Oh.
I would give.
Forget it.
Work-wise, 24 hours.
You
All
asked,
right.
you asked for something unique, something that because you're asking. I can't afford to give you money, so it's like, what would I give you? So, no,
All right. What
24.
are you giving Jace?
What would I give Jace? If I could, if I could give,
Soap on a rope?
what would I give Jace?
Bitch.
What would I give Jace? If I could give Jace anything in the world and I knew what he would want, I would give him. So this is something unique and it's something. This is like really out there. You know what I'm saying? These are things I can't provide, but if I could provide and I could do, what would I give? So first off, I know Helen would, I would give Helen my attention for a full 24 hours, which would make her ecstatic, and I would do everything she asked for when she asked for it, and she wouldn't have to wait for anything. How's that?
That would work.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Jay,
So is that my gift, or if I could gift? That is a gift, or if I would have, could
well, I
have?
could actually do that.
All right, okay.
But I'm not going to. So
Oh, God.
no, I'm kidding.
Okay.
All right. So Jay, let's see. If I could give anything to Jay, I would give Jay his own his own radio show on a top-rated radio station somewhere where he's become a national celebrity all across the country.
Sweet.
Okay.
That's going to happen.
No,
yeah.
because he sucks.
Oh, my
you mean old
goodness.
thing.
Wow.
All right. And if I can, and if I could give Lisa anything in this world,
I'm waiting.
yeah, I would give her the love of all of her children unconditionally.
I love that.
Oh, wow.
That's beautiful.
That's deep. That's nice. That's
Thank
very
you.
nice.
But you all aren't getting shit, so.
Clearly.
Number
clearly,
3.
because It's
And
Monday.
what time is it? It is
It's
8:18.
Monday.
Okay, 3 for 3.
We should
Okay.
write that down
What? What?
each time.
Okay,
We should
it
keep
was
a log.
8:01, 8:08, and 8:08:18.
And then by the end of the show,
Cuss
see how many
words.
times.
Cuss words.
So-
There we go.
And then at the end of the show, you should say who said it. The
Okay,
initial
this was
of who.
Lisa.
Yeah.
Who was
Eric.
808?
Eric and Eric
Eric
again.
again. Oh, fearless leader. You have a potty
And we
mouth.
must have to give something up at the end of the show.
Yeah, give it up.
Oh, I'll give it up. Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
Whoa, hey, hey. This is G-rated, or it's at least
Yeah.
for mature
We have to
audiences
put-
only.
We should have like a jar, and we should have to like, I don't know, put $1.
We do have a jar.
We did. Where did
We
it
don't
go?
have a jar.
We do have a jar. I got it right in here.
We have a curse jar?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
No, we
he brought
don't.
it out the other day when I said a bad word.
He did.
No, I don't really say bad words very often on the air. Loser. Anyway.
Randy Steele. Hey, Randy Steele, how you doing?
Okay,
He
oh,
says,
here it
I
is.
tip everyone if they offer poor service. You know, I think Helen and I should get tips during the day.
Yeah, I did. Well,
How are you going to get money out of that? If you're going to put dollars in there.
we'd figure out a way.
Listen, I put dollars in places you can't possibly imagine you would be able to get them into.
Oh, my.
OMG. What?
You'd
This
be
does not
very
go
surprised.
with this.
I really like this bottle, actually.
Yes, cool bottle.
Nobody puts dollars. You got to put quarters and stuff in there.
All right,
So-
here we go.
What?
Randy says, I tip everyone. If they offer poor service, I tip only usual amounts. If they offer good or better service, I tip 20% or better nowadays. A tip originated, as I understand, to ensure prompt or proper service, but I don't tip now for them as much as for myself. I remember what it's like to have to work hard and get by on little, and tipping well, one small way of respecting myself and those who might be in the same position I have been so in so much of my life. That's a really good
That's
point.
nice.
I like
Yeah.
that.
That's good.
And he's
Good
right. He's
morning,
absolutely right.
Randy
Except when somebody expects a tip and then cops an attitude about the tip, because really you don't have to tip. It's out
Right.
of
I've actually-
being a good person.
Right.
When I was getting engaged to Barbara, we were at Mama Lombardi. What was Mama? There was an Italian restaurant, well-known Italian restaurant in New York City, and we went there as a family, and service sucked. It really did. So when my father-in-law left the tip, he didn't leave. You know, he just basically left the basics. That waiter actually chased us out of the restaurant and,
Really?
and demanded his tip.
That's funny.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the
you know
biggest
what?
tip
This
that
also
you
goes
guys
into
ever
the
got?
conversation about wage gaps and things like that. Why can't we, as a society, have a wage that is acceptable, so that we don't have, not that we don't have to tip, but that tipping is more appreciated instead of needed to match somebody's salary?
Well, I think the minimum wage is slowly getting raised to $15 an hour. But you see, I think that creates issues because when I worked at White House Black Market part-time, one of the reasons I worked there, aside from the clothes, and it was fun, is once you get to a certain point, you lose your insurance. Because if those minimum wages, if they all get raised, companies are going to cut out insurance, and then that creates a whole big problem, of course, for people because people need health insurance. So it's a double-edged sword, I think, but I certainly don't have the answer. But I think that's one of the reasons why people are against it. Companies are against it because they raise your hourly wage, and then insurance is going to get cut out by these companies. So,
Right.
but you worked part-time, I think, at Starbucks. They had, they offered insurance for part-time because a lot of companies that offer part-time work do not offer insurance anymore. So that's kind of crummy in itself, too.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but then we're opening up a whole big can of worms, which I don't think we want to talk about today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Employee Appreciation Day was Friday.
Yeah.
I'll leave that right there.
Okay. All right, then.
He's not even
Okay.
paying attention to us.
No, I know. He's off the mic right now. So what do you guys got? You got anything interesting?
Yeah, I want to go back to the awards.
Sure.
Matthew McConaughey, I don't know when it was, I had seen a clip, and when he won and he had a speech. He had such a beautiful, you know the speech I'm talking about?
Yes.
Somebody had asked him who his hero was, and he said, me, 10 years from now.
Yes.
Was that
Yeah,
last year?
I think it was last year or the year before. But it's been on Facebook a couple times,
Yeah.
and I always listen to it because it's a really inspiring
Yeah.
speech. I wish we could find it. Jace,
Jace.
do you think you can pull that
Jace,
up?
get
'Cause
on
it's
that.
a
Wow,
really
wow, that was incredible. Wish we could find it. You both said, Jace.
well. We look to you.
We appreciate you. We
Yes.
appreciate what you do.
I
We
appreciate you guys,
appreciate your
too.
friendship. And
It-
you know,
it's-
at least we appreciate each other. I don't know about
Yeah,
Eric.
I think so too. Just saying, because where's our fearless leader? He's waving. He's waving to us. Have a good day. Thank
Are
you
you
so
looking
much.
up porn or something? What are you doing
What
in there?
is he doing? Oh my gosh, really? Well, let
I'm
me
right
ask-
here. I'm checking all the feeds. I'm making sure everything's working.
Are,
so.
are we working?
Your phone is on. I hear a phone.
I know my phone is on. That's
I
why.
hear it
Wasn't
phone.
me.
I was checking, and you said, "Where am I?" Say, "I'm listening." Yeah.
Wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh.
see?
Oh, you can have your phone on, but if one of us has our phone on, you say
I
very
didn't say
sternly, "I hear a phone."
I didn't.
This is not Employee Appreciation Day. Catch me next year. All right.
Uh-oh.
Next
Whoa,
year. You can catch
okay.
next year. Next year. Right now,
Yeah,
this
buddy.
is. See here. Let me explain. This
Uh-oh.
is how this is going to work here.
Oh.
This is Eric Land. All right.
Uh-oh.
You
In
are
there or here too?
right.
You know
in-
what? I'm done.
No. What? Hey. She scared me. I'm like, hey, where are you going?
What?
I'm gonna walk out.
Sit down. Sit down
You know,
right now.
there's a
You're not
comment,
leaving
Eric.
me.
You
Sit
could
down.
you could send a gift from Ruin Days like y'all got for Boss's Day. That's
Listen,
right.
All right.
Jen.
You really
We could
scared
send-
me.
Did I?
But,
Oh,
Yeah,
but Jen,
it's
you
like,
see, the
what are
problem
you
is,
doing?
is if Eric sent us all confetti wiener bombs from Ruin Days, we'd all have a huge mess.
You guys are making me feel bad now because you guys. I know you guys do give me gifts, and I didn't give you anything. So it
I know.
You give us aggravation. Thank you. That was a good one.
Very good. Very good. Very
Thank
good.
you,
Wow.
thank you.
I'm
We're
gonna
on
miss you.
fire.
Uh-oh. Lisa,
No,
you gonna
what?
miss me?
We're on fire.
You know what, though?
what?
One thing I don't want to talk about, and I have to talk about it because I'm so miserable about this.
Can I just ask a question? Is Heartbeat coming in?
Yes.
All right, just making sure. Go ahead.
Yes.
all right.
Let me make sure they didn't.
Do you
email me.
know that we are scheduled for a possible another nor'easter on Wednesday? What the flock is up with
Don't
that?
even
man?
talk about it.
Oh man, gosh, I know, and I think there's people still without power.
I don't
on the
care. I have
island.
power.
What
I don't
did you
care
say?
about anybody that doesn't have power. As
That
long as I have
you
power,
mean
that's
old
all that
thing.
matters. Me,
Shame
me,
on you.
That is
No, there was what?
Yeah,
They
way to
said.
show your appreciation, Eric.
Listen, tomorrow will be our own Cop and Crew Employee Appreciation Day, and I will make it up to you guys.
What about the pancakes you promised me? We were
I
going to
know
cook.
Wednesday.
Yowza!
What happened?
Are you
Hey.
in menopause or what?
No.
I mean, listen, Helen, help her out. You've been through this. Go ahead.
It's a breeze.
It's a breeze.
Listen,
Jay's a
listen.
menopause too. No, seriously, we're cooking
I'm
on
in
Wednesday. We're
menopause.
doing Wednesday. I want to make it Wednesday.
This is news to me.
Well, you said last week we talked about it on a Tuesday. We were going to do it on Wednesday.
Are we talking or are we doing? There's a difference.
Wow.
Are you a doer?
You know, I am
or
going to
a
miss you.
don'ter?
Who charged the batteries in your vibrator?
Wasn't me.
Okay.
Doer or a don'ter.
A don'ter.
No, I want to do. I said Wednesdays we want to cook. We
Oh,
gotta-
every Wednesday?
Are we gonna-
Again,
where are we gonna
news
cook?
to
Right
me.
here?
What?
Where are we going to cook?
I'm going to bring in a skillet thing, and we'll bring in things that we're going to cook on a Wednesday. Have something on
A
Wednesday.
skillet.
Really?
Well, what the hell do you want me to do? You want me to bring in a wall oven and hook it up to 240 current?
Well, why not?
You know?
You know,
Wheel the shit
let's
in?
make this like a little home. Okay? You're practically here all the time. You might
My
as well
What are
goodness.
stay
you
here.
cooking?
What-
Are you
Wasn't
cooking?
me.
I'm sorry, Linda, what?
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought,
Crab
sorry.
asses
You know-
all around me.
You know,
Crab ass.
Hey, Eric.
You know what really sucks is
put
she's
the
yelling at me, but we
salt
can't have
on the
makeup sex.
stove.
No, you cannot.
What?
No.
I think we should. All
what?
do me Wednesday.
What?
That's what I'm
I
gonna
want
do.
to. Are we really cooking?
Yeah, well, you were
Are
asking
we-
me, you were bitching and moaning about it, so I think, yeah.
Wow, you
gotta
are
do
a
something.
crab ass
Gotta do.
today.
I'm a crab ass. You're the one
Yeah.
pushing the mic away and jumping up out of her chair.
Well, you know, but
And then you
I
with the
love her.
with
It
your
was
little.
for effect, Eric.
Oh, is that what it was?
It was effect.
she
Effect-
did scare me for a
effect you.
split second. Where you going? Wait, get back here.
No, I'm kidding.
No,
I love you.
you
hear
Wow.
me?
What, Jay?
Are we? What?
Who left the salt on the stove?
yeah. I got yelled at. You know what? I'll tell you about that in a second. But anyway, go ahead, Lisa. What are you gonna say?
Are we contributing? Like, are we bringing things? Is Helen gonna bring like plates? Am I bringing pancake mix? Like, what is happening?
I
Is
want
Chef
pancakes on
Gail
Wednesday.
coming
Listen,
in?
no, Chef Gail's not coming in. I want to.
Okay.
You guys, listen. Let me explain this how this works. You're the women. You're the ones to do the cooking and the
Oh,
cleaning. Okay.
kiss my.
No,
I don't think so.
I'll make. No,
Do
we're
you
gonna.
see this face?
I see it. We can do this. I'm gonna tell you what we can do.
You know what
All
we'll
right?
make?
I'm gonna go to Walmart. I'm gonna pick up some
Reservations.
microwave pancakes. We'll throw them in the microwave. Put them on a plate. We can. have it.
No.
You're gonna make
no.
pancakes.
No, I'm not
Really?
eating microwave
Well, why
poison.
don't we plan
No.
this? Why don't we plan this? Well,
You know
saw-
it's not going to happen.
Your boyfriend's having problems now with what is he, a diaper rash because of the vegans or whatever it is? It's something he's eating vegan or something
Did you
like that?
see his steak last night?
Yeah, all of a sudden he said something about I had enough of vegan. He was getting sick by vegan. God bless you, Danny. I told you that lemonade diet will kill you. But anyway, go ahead.
You didn't
Wow.
do it right.
What? I lost weight. Look at me. I'm
You lost a pound.
I'm a freaking Adonis.
Oh my God. Wow.
Here, hold on. Let's
Uh-oh.
see. No,
That's your wife. Good luck with that.
Probably Charlie.
It is probably Charlie. Because today's Monday, which means we get to see.
Monday.
I booked my show with my
Monday.
daughter. We're going to see
Yeah.
Chicago, her first Broadway play.
Do you know what? Maybe.
It's going to have
See,
fun.
you got me in trouble with my wife. Hold on.
Oh.
Baby, are you there? Hello, baby. Talk to me.
I'm not your baby.
Hello, Harry George.
Harry, what do you think? What do you think? Do you see I'm being abused here and everything like that? Do you see what they're doing to me this morning?
You know,
I called you,
Yeah.
and then, I'm glad you're going to share this commentary with those ladies because I am absolutely proud of the way you're standing up to these abusive, bullying women.
I'm telling you, is it not something the way I'm being abused this morning? It really
Harry
is. and it-
George.
you know?
Honestly, man, I despaired lately of your ability to stand up for your manhood, but you're really showing good today, man.
Thank you.
Great,
Harry.
as a matter of fact.
See that? Yeah,
Oh.
you bitches know where
Harry
you're where it's at,
George.
woman. I tell
Harry
you,
George, don't make me get in my car and drive to Ohio.
he'd love that. He'd bend you over a chair and do
Don't-
Anything you want, it's gonna help.
it. What? I'm telling you what?
You're only 13 hours away. I'll do
Yeah,
it.
she's used to that. Like, she gets in a car and drives 13, 18 hours. She,
That's just a walk in the park, honey.
you know what? She's
That's
been
like
up.
going out for a loaf of freaking bread.
She's been up and down. She's been up and down 95 South like a whore walks 9th Avenue. I'm telling you.
Yeah, at least there's no potholes.
You know what I got to tell you?
There's no potholes.
What?
Eric, since it is 8:30, I think you need to tell Harry how much you appreciate him.
Harry, Jay says Jay says I need to tell you how much I appreciate you. All right, that's what Jay is telling me that right now. Is that what you said, Jay?
That's right.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
You want me to
I
tell?
should say how much I appreciate Jace.
No, I'm supposed to say how it's
Well, why
employee
not?
it's Employee Appreciation Day, and I'm supposed to say how much I appreciate you. They're telling me. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what they're telling me, Harry. So.
No offense, brother, but I don't need your appreciation. I'm damn good on my own.
You know, Harry George, when I think of you, Harry, it's like You're like that. You're like that stepfather who used to beat me that I never had. You're like the teacher at school.
Don't start getting girlish on me, man.
You're like that.
I just thought you manned up.
You're like Harry. You're like that abusive camp counselor who didn't like me because I had red hair.
That's funny.
Go get that as a soundbite.
Harry,
Get that as a
George,
soundbite.
that was not that funny.
All right. Wow, Lisa.
All right.
Telling you, you look lovely this morning. You do.
Oh, thank
Hey,
you.
Lisa,
Really do.
you're a woman.
It's
What
so
would you
good
know?
finally to see a woman that cares about her appearance and that just stands up.
Listen, let me tell you a story. Wait, hold on.
Look at-
Let me tell you a story. I woke up so late. I went to bed at like 4:00 in the morning.
Why?
Because
Where
I
was he?
Come
Sorry,
on now.
what?
So I woke up.
Wow, she's
I
cranky this
shut
morning.
off all my alarms. I
Yeah.
have like 4
Oh,
alarms on my
dear.
phone, right? 6:40, I just jump up and I'm like, no way. I never got ready so fast in my life. I showered so fast. I got ready so fast. I threw this on and I was out the door. I didn't even stop for
I don't
coffee.
believe you. Next time I want videos.
4 kids later,
You know,
you don't want
it's
videos.
all great that you managed to do this thing, but man, guys like us,
Mm-hmm.
you know, we've learned the fine art of getting the hell out of a bedroom in 30 seconds or less.
That's
Let me
right.
tell you, when I get
Why?
ready, I'm ready
Because
within
wives
an
come home
hour.
early.
Because their husband's coming up the damn stairs.
Yeah, that's what
why.
I thought there.
Wow.
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 Bummer.
Well, I want
Wow.
you to know, in all seriousness, I appreciate all of you. I really do. And yes, I want to do something on Wednesdays because, like right now, I'm starving. I want to eat something right now.
I
didn't,
know.
I had left my coffee in the car, and it's like,
You could just come here a little bit earlier, make a stop along the way.
I can't
get
stop.
A little
I'm not allowed to
spread.
stop along the way.
A little love note.
Listen.
Dear Lisa, I appreciate and love you. Dear Helen, you're beautiful. I appreciate and love you.
Oh, you want me to lie?
And then put a little note on the
you,
window
Eric.
there so Jace could see how much you love him.
Thank you, Harry.
I do. All right, Jace, I couldn't live without you, Jace. I mean, you are the one that holds this show together. You are just amazing. It's just Jay. I mean, I don't know what I would do without Jay. I really don't.
I got the
don't.
picket
I really don't.
picket stuff.
So you want me to
Or
get up? So
signs
you want me to
from the
try
car.
to? You want me to try to get up?
Donut
You want me to try to get up just a little earlier?
Yeah, that's about right.
Amen.
Mission impossible. No, seriously, I got up early. I get up every morning this morning it was 10 to 5, and at my door it was
Diesel wakes you up. Which one
no,
wakes
not
you up, Forrest?
That's what I get. I open the door. I open the door and I look at this dog and go, it's not 20 after 6. It's 10 to 5 in the morning. Why are you at my door going, roo? Right?
They don't sleep in
I
bed
just
with
want,
you?
I just want to play. I like playing. I just want to make sure you guys are all right. I'm a happy dog. I'm a puppy. Come outside and play with me. 10 minutes to 5 in the morning. Let's talk.
You do. Good
Oh
dog.
my God, the guys! I want to strangle that bastard.
Wait, you don't let the dog sleep in bed with you?
Oh, I did. Yeah, I was like, yeah, she's there every night.
Good man.
Oh, man. Well, nice knowing you all your whole life.
Ah, Jesus.
Oh, that's my.
Hey, Eric.
She's a pit bull. I got in trouble yesterday. I get in trouble every day. I really
Well,
do.
you should.
I do. She yells at me all the time. It's like I could go, "Hey, beautiful, good morning." Why'd you say that to me?
Do you actually say that,
He's
though?
What?
beautiful. Why are
do
you
you
talking
say-
to her? Yeah.
Do you talk sweet? Do you make her breakfast? You should make her breakfast on a Sunday morning. Not beef jerky. Not
Yeah, why
the
don't you
beef
share
jerky.
the
Who
beef
tightened up?
jerky?
Who tightened up your cockles this morning?
I
You know
don't know.
what?
I feel
I think you should share the beef jerky story with everybody
Yeah.
there, pal.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Yeah.
I was standing online at Walmart. I had a box of candy in my hand, and out of the corner of my eye at the cash register was this beautiful silver package that said beef jerky. Now, I thought to myself, well, my wife had recently talked about how much she likes beef jerky, so I'll get her some beef jerky. So I got the beef jerky, and I brought it home, and I gave her the gifts. 2 days later, my daughter Dakota says to me, "Did you really give her beef jerky?" I go, "Why?" I didn't even know there was a problem. I really didn't. I did it I was doing it because I'm a hell of a guy, and I'm just a sweetheart, and people love me. And all of a sudden now, 3 years later, I keep hearing about this beef jerky shit,
Because
so.
nobody does that.
Seriously?
Yes, no, well, if nobody
Really?
does it, why
You
do they
get-
sell it?
Well, it's not for a freaking Valentine's gift, you toad.
It's
Harry's
not
still
the
on the
gift.
phone
It's
with
from.
us?
Listen, you guys. You are materialistic. All of you.
Yes,
I'm
so
not.
what?
No.
Yes, you are.
Who cares?
You are. You,
Did you just point to me?
yes, you're materialistic.
That is so not
Really?
true.
It's
That
so-
is so not true.
The
So in other words,
engagement ring story.
So if nobody,
yeah.
so if I came to you and I gave you beef jerky because from the bottom of my heart I thought that that's what you liked.
Yeah.
You wouldn't appreciate that.
No, you want to know why? Because you bought it at the last minute. You didn't give it any thought.
How'd you know I bought it at the last minute?
Did you buy it at the last minute?
I'm not going to tell you. If you don't know, it won't
okay.
hurt you.
Well, all right. So then
It's-
obviously you
it's
bought
like
it at
if
the
you don't-
last minute.
It's like, it's the old story. If you don't know where I was last night, it's not going to bother you. So go ahead.
What? Are you- I don't.
Harry,
I-
jump in here anytime, Harry.
No,
Jump in
no,
here.
no.
Jump
But
in here.
no, beef jerky. You bought it at the last minute, and that's that.
Don't
All
do
right.
that, Harry.
So
Listen,
that's that.
All right,
Don't
listen.
hurt yourself, Harry.
So far this morning, I need to apologize. What did you say? Don't hurt yourself, Harry. Did you hear this? Harry, you're being abused this morning here. You hear this?
I'm trying to
Now,
find
see,
fun facts about
there's one
employee
thing I've learned
appreciation
over my
day.
long association with the fair, supposedly sex, is anything they say is a lot like the nattering of children, and I don't listen to it anyway.
Yeah, you did.
Anyway,
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
You know,
all right.
you should bring in
Yakida,
a
yakida,
yoga
yakida.
instructor.
Eric, my brother, be cool.
Love
Just
you.
have a good time. Ladies,
Take it easy,
pleasure to
Harry.
speak with you again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Harry.
You got to clear these phones anyway because we got Charlie going to call in for a quick report on SeatsLink and tell us what's going on here. So we're waiting on Charlie to call. Marie sent me, what did
Oh,
Marie
he
send?
tried to call, but Harry was on the line.
I'm sorry. I just looked down. I didn't realize what time it was. I apologize.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
I'm pleasant. You're appreciated.
I'm trying to find something.
I've got something
here.
relatively
By the way, I did
interesting.
find what you
Yeah.
ladies asked me for, I believe.
Oh, can you play it?
Yes, it's Matthew McConaughey, and it's called the Be Your Own Hero motivational speech.
I love this. I love
Really
his
great.
voice. It's so sexy.
Now, when I was 15 years old, I had a very important person in my life come to me and say, "Who's your hero?" And I said, "I don't know. I got to think about that. Give me a couple of weeks." I come back 2 weeks later. This person comes up and says, "Who's your hero?" I said, "I thought about it. You know who it is?" I said, "It's me in 10 years." So I turned 25 10 years later. That same person comes to me and goes, "So are you a hero?" And I was like, "Not even close." No. She said, "Why?" I said, "Because my hero is me at 35. So you see, every day, every week, every month, and every year of my life, my hero's always 10 years away. I'm never going to be my hero. I'm not going to attain that. I know I'm not. And that's just fine with me because that keeps me with somebody to keep on chasing." So to any of us, whatever those things are, whatever it is we look up to, whatever it is we look forward to, and whoever it is we're chasing, to that I say amen. To that I say, all right. To that I say, just keep living, huh?
There you
That
go.
gives me chills. I love that.
Yeah,
it's
that's a great speech.
inspiring. It makes me feel good. It reminds me of who I am and what I'm about and what my goals are. I really love that.
Wow, how
Thank you,
Tony
Jace.
Robbins of you.
Don't make
Tony
me
Robbins
get up.
does-
Don't
It's really a
make
good
me get up.
speech.
Can you do me a favor?
What?
Stand up for 1 second. Just stand up.
What?
No,
what
just
do you?
stand, I just want to see because you stood up before and just stand up. Just 1 second. Stand up. I'm going to sexually harass you. Stand up. And then
Don't stand
jump up
up.
and down like you're angry
Don't
again.
do it.
That was really, it was a turn on, baby. Really working
Don't
for
do
me.
it.
It was working for me. Those things flopping up and down. They were really turning me on. It was really great. All right. I love that. I never that we get her. Now she's doing a Helen. Like usually it's you that's all pissed off and angry in the morning, and now you're just sitting there doing absolutely nothing and serving no purpose, and she's doing everything. See that?
I think Maria's gonna come out.
I'm kidding. I love you both. I'm just messing with you. I'm
Don't get in your car.
just don't get it.
Just do the remote from about
All right.
100 feet away.
Listen,
Sleep
all
with
the
one
way.
eye open tonight,
all the
buddy.
way from SeatsLink headquarters in a secret cave somewhere in Yonkers is the immortal, the amazing, the transluxual, whatever that means, Charlie Kaufman. Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning. You're calling me immortal and amazing, which I appreciate because it's true.
No, Charlie, speaking of appreciation, I think Eric has something he has to tell you.
This has been a great Monday.
What do I have to tell him?
You need to tell him how much you appreciate him, jerk.
Charlie, I appreciate you, you jerk. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I think
I
jerk
usually
was
get
meant
the
for. I
jerk.
think that was meant for you.
Oh,
Captain.
I thought that's what I was supposed to say.
No, that was for you.
Oh,
I usually get the jerk.
Oh,
but I don't get the appreciation on Monday. So
Well, you are truly
thank you
appreciated.
very much.
I'm gonna try to adjust. We gotta adjust. You know what? This I think this.
I can hardly hear him, Eric.
Hold on, stand by, Charlie. 1 second. Stand by.
I hear an echo.
All right, Charlie. I'm gonna disconnect you and call you back on another line. All right, so stand by. I'm gonna call you right back.
I'm getting the echo off.
Yeah, this is driving me. Hold on. You know what, Charlie? Wait 1 second. Just do me one favor here. Just bear with me for 1 second. Let me hear you again, Charlie. Can I?
Hello?
Is that better? Yeah, there we go. Let me take it from here, Charlie. Go ahead. You still hearing an echo,
I don't hear Charlie.
Charlie?
Choo choo.
Why did I lose
Charlie
Charlie? We
was
lost
an
Charlie.
engineer.
Charlie, you there? Charlie. Charlie.
That was for Good and Plenty.
Charlie.
That was what?
That was
We
for
lost
a
Charlie.
commercial
No,
for
he's
Good
still
and
there, but
Plenty.
he's not. He's still there, but I'm not hearing him. Charlie, there you go. Charlie, let me hear you. No, Charlie, let me hear you. Are you there, Charlie?
Hello? Yep.
All right, let me hear you again, because I think I might have got it. I'm going to fix the problem. So go ahead. Let me hear
You
you.
think you might have got it?
Yep. Is that good? You don't hear an echo now?
No, I don't hear an echo, and I hear you. So
There
I
you
think
go.
I'm good.
We're good. Okay, so all the way.
Now, again, Eric has to tell you how much he loves you and appreciates you.
That's what
So we have it on
Thank
recording
you.
this time.
All right, Charlie, here we go.
Let's
Ready?
hear it.
Here we go. Here we go.
Let me have it, Eric.
You know, there's something special about going to your website, knowing that you're there, Charlie, and knowing that I'm paying 5 times what I would pay at Ticketmaster.
Let's go to a good call.
I'm just kidding. Charlie has been with us for so long now, and it's like it's nice to deal with people that you call friends. We've gotten to know him and his family, and you truly are appreciated for what you do. I mean, you know your business as far as the ticket industry goes. You know, there are people out there that call themselves, ticket brokers, and basically what they're looking to do is they're looking just to scalp tickets and to be able to put money in their pocket and not give a rat's ass about the people or the event or anything like that. And that's not what Charlie Kaufman's about. I mean, this is a man who has developed a company, SeatsLink, that truly is a caring company, and he's shown that in more ways than one. To my family too, with the Yankees and the Bat Day and all this. And he truly has, when he talks about giving a memory and making it more than just tickets into an event, and that's true. That's what it's about. And sometimes we don't think about it that way. We want to take our kids to a concert, or we want to take our kids to a sporting event, or we want to do this, or we want to do that. And we do it, and we rush, and we go through it, and it doesn't mean shit. And then all of a sudden, something happens where put a quarter in the jar. But then all of a sudden, you get, like I remember things when you deal with SeatsLink, or you deal with Charlie, and he makes suggestions where you can go before, what you can do after, where you can park, and it does matter. It makes the day go so much easier, and so you are appreciated. How was that, Jay? Was that pretty good?
That was really
you.
longer
Perfect.
than what you gave to us. All right.
Yeah, but you're here. I know where you're going. I mean,
Whatever.
And I love you guys. All right, I'll give you.
Thank you, Eric. That was touching.
Charlie, I just read what you wrote.
Touching.
I read what you wrote. That's all. I read what you gave me to read.
Listen, Eric and I have got a very tight dog and pony.
Hey, I don't want to
show.
hear about who
basically
has the tighter.
keep him,
Really, I don't.
And he, puts out what I tell him to. But you know what? Let me tell you one thing. I do have a bone to pick. I do have a bone to pick with a friend of the station's because you were talking about food. And you were talking about your good friend, Chef Gail.
Yes.
And I said to myself, I haven't seen Chef Gail on Facebook in, forever. Surely she hasn't, left the Facebooking world. And you know what I found out?
What?
She unfriended me.
Why did she unfriend
She
you?
had to have.
I don't think she unfriends anybody, but I'll find
I
out.
think she did. Now, you know why? Because I'm a raging liberal nut.
Oh, your political views.
I'm not a raging liberal nut. You know that. I don't care about anybody, Eric.
Right.
I only care about you when you're going to concerts and sporting events. I'm totally in the middle.
Right.
Totally in the middle. But I like to turn the screws a little bit when I see people putting things that are a little bit crazy in one way or another.
Right.
So you know who I think is going to be next to unfriend me?
Who's that?
Me.
Guess.
Who's going to unfriend? I don't know. Who would unfriend you? I'm not going to unfriend you.
Phil's definitely next to unfriend me.
I don't think Phil will. Honestly, I think
let me
Phil
tell you
loves a
something.
good argument. He's an attorney.
Listen.
I
Attorneys love
know.
to argue.
Phil's a great guy, actually. Phil would never unfriend me because,
Well, he doesn't know how to do it. He doesn't know how to unfriend people. He's lucky he knows how to get on Facebook.
No.
I'm just
It's
kidding,
all
Phil.
good.
Just
You know
kidding.
what?
It's all
We
good.
can
But
all
you're-
have our differences and still
Funny
be
if you think about it,
friends.
he's an attorney. He doesn't know how to befriend people either.
Wow.
Oh,
Anyway,
please. Hey, listen. The man's name. He's the J in JVK. So you got to
Yeah.
give respect.
absolutely.
Well, let
gotta
me
give
ask you
respect.
something, Charlie. When you're
Yeah.
sharing your views on Facebook, you don't get abusive or anything, do you?
No, look, there are a couple issues that are going today that just really kind of rub me in the wrong way. And when I see something, newsworthy, sometimes I tend to, make my feelings known on certain issues.
Right.
But I don't, pick fights per se. But you know what I like to do? I like to, I'm like the guy. I'm like the watchmaker. I like to kind of set it in motion. So I said something about guns a couple weeks ago. It was a one-sentence statement, and it started a huge debate between a million people, and I
Yeah.
just love. I put it out there, and like a million people just had at it, and I just kind of stuck my feet up and put my head back. And
You're the kid
you
that
know,
throw.
that's
You're the kid.
all
That,
right.
You're the kid that throws the bologna
Yeah.
sandwich across the lunchroom and then sits back and watches what happens.
Charlie, I did
Exactly.
something
That's
similar.
what I do. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I like to, kind of ruffle the feathers a little bit sometimes. But look, I also like to talk about the good stuff, the fun stuff, as you know, sports concerts, and you talk about politics, you talk about loving America. Well, no one loves America more than I do, and one of the things I love about this country is that we have the right to do what we want to do. Having fun, getting out with our families and friends, and getting to those theater events and those ball games and concerts are kind of what it's like. Lisa's going out with her daughter a couple weeks to see the play, right? You're going to see Chicago,
Yes, and thank you for your help.
and that's
Yeah.
what you could do in this country. That's what makes America great.
Yeah.
Being able to go and do this stuff when you want and take the kids out. So that's why I'm in the business that I'm in, and that's why I like to bring it to you every week to inform you on what's going on. So without any further to-do, what is going on this week? This, to me, is like my favorite week of the year, actually, because you talk about March Madness, which is, someone's calling me. I got to turn that off. When you talk about the college basketball and the big tournaments and all the teams going for the national championship, well, this is the week that the conference tournaments kind of kick into gear, and we're lucky enough in New York to have 3 of them going on in our hometown. We just got done with the Big Ten tournament. They start theirs a little bit earlier than most of the major conferences. So that one actually ended yesterday. Congratulations to Michigan winning the conference tournament at the Garden over Purdue. But starting this week, starting on Wednesday, we have the ACC tournament, which will feature teams like Duke and North Carolina and Virginia and Syracuse. So some really, really terrific schools that I know a lot of people from the New York area have a connection to, whether or not they went there, their kids go there, or they're just fans of these schools. So you're going to have all these teams playing at the Barclays Center starting on Wednesday, and the tournament will last through Saturday. So a really great chance to check out some terrific top-flight college basketball at the Barclays Center beginning Wednesday. And I will tell you this, that if you're a big sports fan and you ever want to do like a hooky day, heading to it would be the Barclays Center on Wednesday to check out a full day of college basketball. You get 4 games in, so you could literally spend like 10 hours at the Barclays Center. I did that in the past when the Cincinnati Bearcats were part of the Big East. That's after I went to college, and I would spend a whole day at the Garden when they were in the Big East at the Big East tournament. It's a great way to spend the day. If you're a sports nut, if you're a basketball junkie, these conference tournaments are just the way to go. So the ACC tournament kicks off on Wednesday at the Barclays Center, and on Thursday the Big East tournament. That's going to feature Villanova, and it's going to feature Xavier, and it's going to feature Seton Hall and St. John's and Georgetown. So a lot of other local schools from around here that people really tend to follow as the local college teams are going to be playing at the Garden throughout the week, starting on Thursday and going through Saturday as well. So you've got a really great chance if you're a big-time college basketball junkie, so to speak. You're going to really get a great kick out of these wonderful college basketball tournaments that have already been taking place in New York, but are continuing throughout the course of the week. We used to just have the Big East tournament, which was always just like a great New York tradition. But now we're going for 3 tournaments in the New York area, starting with the Big Ten that just ended and the Big East and the ACC. So get your college basketball tickets at SeatSlink.com. We have all of them for every session, every round, every team that you're going to want to see. Check them out at www.seatslink.com. Some other fun stuff going on tonight at the Garden. Speaking of the Garden, we have Serena versus Venus Williams. They're going to be playing each other in a little tennis tournament, the Tie Break Tens. It's a good promotional tournament. There's a charitable component to it, and you can check out Serena versus Venus at the Garden. Tickets start around $40, and they don't even have the upper bowl open, so you're going to be sitting in the lower level to watch Serena versus Venus. I mean, obviously two of the best players and the sisters going at it against each other tonight at the Garden. So, if you got kids who are tennis fans or you're a tennis fan and you kind of want to take them for a little treat, check out Venus versus Serena tonight. It's going to be fun. I'm sure they're going to interact with the crowd. I'm sure they're going to be hitting some balls out into the stands and, really kind of embracing the crowd as these little tennis exhibitions tend to go when they're at the Garden. Always a lot of fun. So check that out. The Tie Break Tens tennis tonight, Serena versus Venus at the Garden. Also tonight, if you don't mind heading out to Jersey, Bergen Pack, Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper has really been holding it down for like 50
Alice
years
Cooper,
already.
wow.
Alice Cooper. He's going to be playing at the Bergen Pack in Englewood, New Jersey.
Cool. Still going
head on
strong.
out there, he puts on a great live show. Always ends every show by chopping his own head off. I don't quite know how it gets back on there.
It's always
but I
a
guess
thrill
he got
to see
pretty
Alice
certain.
Cooper chopping his own head off. That's amazing,
Yeah, he has a guillotine, and he sticks his head in it, and at the end of the show, the guillotine comes down, and lo and behold, his head falls off.
Wow. Cool. We should do that here. I wonder if we could do that here. We can chop up.
Yeah, I know. It would be great. Especially, why it's actually, would be quite useful, because I'm sitting here watching it on Facebook, and I have Helen, which is great. I have Lisa, which is great. And then right in the middle of them, I got Jace's big head popping up there.
There you go. See that?
Not a big head. Okay, I remember you wanted this recorded,
chop
right?
that off as long as I'm watching and put it back on. Because, it's just, talking about Beauty and the Beast.
Wow. Ooh, Beauty and the Beast. There you go. So,
I'm sorry. See, like
be
I
nice.
said,
Be
Jake,
nice. Be nice. Be nice. Be nice. Don't stop that. We're live on camera. So anyway.
Oh, come on. I'm joking around.
He is. Anything
Take
else?
a look at Facebook here in a minute.
That's why I stick to the phone, because I don't want people to have to look at me. But anyway, and then we also have coming up this week. Tomorrow we have the Rangers. The Rangers made a bunch of trades at the trade deadline. Really kind of sold off a lot of their better contributors for future contributors. And lo and behold, they won 3 games in a row. I don't know if it's going to be quite enough to get them back into the playoff race. I don't think that they're really going to be much of a force in the playoffs anyway, so they're probably better off kind of, folding the tent for this year and kind of focusing on next year. But, look, if you are looking towards the future, you have to be pretty excited about how the Rangers have managed to win a 3-game road trip, and now they come home to face a very good Winnipeg Jets team tomorrow. So you got that tomorrow at the Garden.
Okay.
So the Garden's really got some good action leading up to the conference tournament. You got Serena and Venus tonight. You got the Rangers tomorrow, and then you got the great college basketball throughout the course of the week with the Big East tournament. So that's really going to be a great way to kind of spend some time in the Garden. If you want to spend the whole week there, you got some really great options there. Also speaking of hockey, if you don't mind going out to Jersey again, the Devils kind of did the opposite thing. They made some pretty significant trades to kind of keep themselves in the playoff picture. As anyone who follows hockey would know, they're firmly in the playoff race. And it's their spot to lose, but they've sort of, been teetering a little bit since they made some pretty significant trades to kind of shore up their playoff run. So they're going to be home to face a pretty downtrodden Canadiens team tomorrow. So hopefully they can get back on track and kind of, maintain their grasp on the playoffs with the Devils against the Canadiens tomorrow night as well. For all you concert fans out there, we got some good ones coming up. Elvis Costello is going to be playing at Brooklyn Steel on Wednesday, which is a great warehouse in the Dumbo district of Brooklyn. I saw a couple concerts there when it was a St. Anne's Warehouse years ago, and I've been to it since it's been Brooklyn Steel as well. Great venue. Elvis Costello will be there, standing room only, Wednesday at 8 o'clock. I've been talking a lot about Jersey this week. I guess there's a lot of good stuff going on there. Steve Winwood is going to be at the NJ Pack in Newark on Thursday. That's a terrific theater in a terrific city. People don't make it out to Newark too much. I know there's got a lot of stigma about being there. It's not being considered one of the safest or nicest cities in the world, and that may or may not be true. But I actually, SeatsLink headquarters used to be in Newark, and it's a terrific town. The NJ Pack's a beautiful theater. They got some great restaurants there in the Ironbound district that will leave you, not having to eat for a week. It's just great food, and it's a nice downtown. So check out Steve Winwood at the NJ Pack. Tickets are really reasonable, starting around $40. You get into the orchestra for like less than $100. I hear Dear Mr. Fantasy and Higher Love and all that great stuff. Well, Steve Winwood will be there on Thursday. Staying in Jersey, wow, that's a place to be. We got Kid Rock. Kid Rock is in the Prudential Center on Friday, March 9th. So check him out at the Prudential Center in the big arena there. Kid Rock will be playing there on Friday. A couple more things going on this week. Our soccer locals get underway. The Red Bulls open at home on Saturday against the Portland Timbers, and then on Sunday, NYCFC will be taking on LA Galaxy. So that's NYCFC did open the regular season yesterday with a win, 2-0 over Kansas City. So that's a pretty good win for them on the road, and a very tough place to win, historically tough at least. So NYCFC off to a good start and opening at home on Sunday against the LA Galaxy. Also, for all you concert fans out there, we have Elvis Costello again. Will be playing at the Capitol Theater, this time with the Imposters. He's going to be there for a few nights, starting on Thursday and going through Thursday, Friday, off Saturday, and then Sunday. We have Elvis Costello and the Imposters at the Capitol Theater up in Port Chester, New York. And then in Brooklyn, we have Joe Russo's Almost Dead, which to me and a lot of folks who know is the best of the Grateful Dead cover bands going these days. There's a lot of good energy, a lot of different arrangements than you're used to seeing. They don't quite play as straight as a lot of the Dead cover bands out there do it. They kind of make their own spin on the stuff. And Joe Russo's Almost Dead will be at Brooklyn Bowl for 3 nights this weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Very good. That's good.
Yep.
Very good.
And that's really we got the Knicks. Are going to be facing the Raptors on Sunday, and the Nets are going to be facing the Sixers on Sunday. So we have a couple of good pro basketball games as well, with all the good college stuff that I had mentioned. So that's where we're at for this week. It's kind of a hodgepodge, a mixture of different kinds of events. The college basketball obviously great. Some pro sports mixed in there with the hockey and basketball, Serena and Venus. It's going to be a fun one tonight if you can make it out to the Garden. And a couple of electric concerts, like I said, Alice Cooper, Elvis Costello, Steve Winwood, Kid Rock. I mean, so some good stuff.
I think it's great. I appreciate.
Mike Gordon will be playing at Brooklyn Steel the same night that Joe Russo's playing at Brooklyn Bowl. So you got the jam band thing going. So really, really eclectic, but a lively way to kind of get this week kicked off. And like I said, my favorite week with the start of the college basketball March Madness. And as always, you can buy your tickets for anything and everything at www.seatslink.com.
Yep.
Or call us at 718. What?
I said, yep, you can do that. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, Eric's kicking me off. All right. Eric, let me just get through my last promo, and I'm going to leave you alone.
Go ahead.
You made me wait, all right?
I know, you're right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
718-676-0504 to give us a call, or inquiry at seatslink.com. Don't forget, the discount code is live. That's my gift to you every single time I'm on. $20 off your order. The discount code is live, LIVE. It will save you $20, and you can use that as exclusively for WLINY listeners. And our service fees and prices are always pretty low to begin with. We try to do the best that we can for you, so you'll save a little bit more with the discount code live. And another exciting news: the Ticket Talk program will be back on Thursday here on WLINY. A lot going on in the ticketing world.
Yay!
Ticket Talk is back. I know I get to reclaim my Thursday at 7 o'clock perch.
Absolutely.
A lot going on. I appreciate all you folks over there at WLINY for keeping the space for me, and as I was away, and I'm back and now I'm ready to get back on the air with you guys on Thursday. All right, so that's the report for the week. Thank you, crew.
Thank you, Charlie.
We love you, Charlie.
Have a great day.
Love you all
listen,
very well.
the bottom line is,
I love seeing you on the air.
there are many people.
Don't get me wrong.
I know what it is, Charlie. There's a lot of people out there that don't know. Like, I would have known Elvis. I'm an Elvis Costello fan. I wouldn't even have known he was playing.
great.
So I do appreciate the information that you bring. So
got it,
SeatsLink.com,
man.
SeatsLink.com, SeatsLink.com. Check it out for all of your ticket needs, okay?
You got it. Talk
Thank-
to you later, guys.
Bye-bye.
See you
Thanks,
Thursday.
Charlie.
Bye-bye.
Hi.
Heartbeat Farms is in the house. Jay, the song you told me about yesterday, do you have that song, Jay, queued up?
Yeah, you have to give me a second to grab it.
What I'd like to do is this. We're going to take a break. We're going to take a break for national news, and let me just get to it here, if I can. We're going to take a break for national news, and while we're doing that, ladies, if you could set Jennifer and Ann up in the chairs, and then of
Absolutely.
course right after them we got Soaky Joe in the house. He's going to talk to us about self-defense and all the good things like that. So,
Awesome.
all right. So we'll be right back right after this.
Sexual misconduct condemned at the Oscars. Florida gun vote. I'm Evan Haining. Host Jimmy Kimmel opened last night's Academy Awards by talking about Hollywood's sexual assault scandals and disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein.
The only other person to be expelled from the Academy ever was a character actor named Carmine Corritti. In 2004, he was kicked out for sharing screeners. Carmine Corritti got the same punishment as Harvey Weinstein for giving his neighbor a copy of Seabiscuit on VHS.
Well, then the Oscars were awarded, and correspondent Jim Roop reports The Shape of Water got 4.
The film won the Oscar for production design and original score, as well as the top 2, director for Guillermo del Toro and Best Pick. Frances McDormand capped off a dominating award show season with an Oscar for her performance in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Sam Rockwell took the supporting role Oscar for that film. The Best Actor honor went to Gary Oldman for Darkest Hour, and supporting actress Allison Janney for I, Tonya.
Parkland, Florida students and their parents will be watching closely when state senators hold their final vote on school safety today. Correspondent Athena Jones reports Republicans have defeated the Democrats' attempt to remove the controversial program that would arm teachers.
It's gotten a lot of pushback from students, from teachers, from parents, and also from Governor Rick Scott, who said he's opposed to arming teachers. He says teachers should teach. But what's not clear is whether Governor Scott would veto any legislation that includes arming teachers.
Special counsel Robert Mueller is demanding all campaign documents involving President Trump and his closest advisors. Axios reports the grand jury wants emails, text messages, and more going back to the early months of the Trump campaign. Well, blizzards are sweeping into the central U.S. today, and New England may get another major winter storm later this week. But forecasters do not expect it to be as bad as last week's storm that took at least half a dozen lives. Right now, Wall Street futures are lower. I'm Evan Haining.
And I want to thank you, Evan. Thank you so much for that. There we go. All right, Jay, are you there?
I got it.
You got it? Why don't you
Yes, sir.
all right, tell everybody about it, Jay, if you would.
So, a up and coming artist. They are the Dan Barkan Band. I hope I'm saying that correct. Wrote a song called City Parks, and he goes to say, "Play it loud and hope it can relate to springtime coming and going to parks, spring and summer, fall, etc. Have fun and enjoy." So the song is called City Parks.
Walking down 49th Street, near a famous shopping stop. Not far away in my mind was a special place in my heart. A cool, nice breeze is blowing out on the Central Park lawn. A tall, thin woman standing nearby on the bus to take her downtown. City parks all day. I come here on a Sunday. City parks, yeah, I pray that you'll come over to stay. City parks all day. I come here on a Sunday. City parks, I pray that you'll come over to stay. A Sunday like no other. Temperature just about fine. People that remain today in the park are about to wine and dine. Now, you can meet a beauty or a poet or a painter just by asking the town. A love letter lays on the lawn and blows away. It's a very cool state of mind. City parks all day. I come here on a Sunday. City parks, I pray that she'll come over to stay. free concert in this park. That would have been pretty fine. But inside Dale from the dark, we might be hard to find. City parks all day. I come here on Sunday. City parks, yeah, I pray that you are over to stay. City parks all day. I come here on a Sunday. City parks, yeah, I pray that you come over to stay. City parks all day. I come here on Sunday. City parks, I pray that you come over to stay. City parks all day.
Answer my own question. All right, thank you, Jay. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. All right, so listen, in 2007, Ann Pellegrino founded Hobbs Farm, a nonprofit all-volunteer farm with a mission to provide fresh, wholesome produce to those in need through a network of local food pantries and food programs. In 2010, Jen Ross founded Heartbeat Cafe, a nutritional program focused on creating healthy leaders. Jen connected with Ann through Whole Foods Market and began to volunteer at Hobbs Farm, eventually helping to manage the farm stand and to bring school field trips and company-hosted events to the farm. In 2017, Ann and Jen formed Heartbeat Farms, a 1-acre for-profit farm on the property of Hobbs Farm, to continue their love of farming, focus on bringing nutritious food and education to families and kids, and to help support and sustain the mission of Hobbs Farm. And I want to welcome to the show Ann and Jennifer. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good morning.
How are you? So Lisa actually reached out to you, and I'm glad. Welcome to the show. Welcome, guys. How'd I do? Is that pretty good? Did I get that right?
Perfect.
It was perfect, huh? I wrote that. I actually wrote that. I wrote that. And you know what's amazing is I wrote it, and it's the same thing that's on your website. So, guys, this is Heartbeat Farms. We have Ann. Introduce yourselves, if you would.
Well, my name is Ann Pellegrino, and volunteer to grow fruit, vegetables for food pantries and soup kitchens for about 10 years now.
Really? Wow. So the concept of the farm is to grow food for soup kitchens, or was that what you originally were doing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. You know, it's rare. And you guys are right local here. You're right close to the studio. How far are you from here?
2 minutes.
2 minutes,
Oh,
right?
2
wow.
minutes from here.
So it's like
who knew,
I
right?
probably pass it and don't even realize that I
it's off the
pass
beaten
it.
path. It is down, but you know what?
Yeah.
You go out east on Long Island. There's still people don't realize how much farmland is actually out on Long Island still. And to say that there's one here in Lake
Center
Grove,
Ridge,
in
yeah.
Center Reach and Lake Grove is amazing. It really is. Is it hard to grow in this type of area?
When we first started, actually, we had Cornell come and they tested the soil for us, and they told us no way, nothing would grow.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wow.
we proved them wrong.
Yeah.
So what do you grow?
Everything you could think of. Right now, mostly leafy greens this time of year. We have them started up in the greenhouse. We do zucchini, yellow squash, different types of winter squash, peppers, eggplants, cucumbers, watermelons.
Any like hamburger meat or like
Now,
French fries or pizza?
partner with
you
the
know.
butcher.
No, that's what White Castle's for.
What's the winter do to you? What does the winter, how do you cope with the elements now?
Well, we've learned not to plant in the greenhouse until like the beginning of March.
Okay.
Anything before that, the elements are way too severe.
yeah,
because
too
it's not a
harsh.
heated greenhouse. So
Right.
Now, you said this goes to food pantries and soup kitchens. Do you sell anything retail?
we do on Saturdays. We sell for donation, and all the proceeds go back into the farm because it's 11 acres.
This is a
There's
lot of your time.
11 acres.
I thought you
wow.
said it was 1 acre. Where did I get 1 acre from?
It's 11 acres, but we farm roughly about 4 of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I
And
got
the
you.
1 acre is Heartbeat. Heartbeat Farms is kind of a separate entity from Hobbs Farm. Hobbs is
okay.
the nonprofit
Okay.
that donates the food to the food pantries. Heartbeat is a for-profit company that was formed to help sustain Hobbs with an income stream.
Okay.
And does more of the proactive selling and the
that's awesome.
CSA.
Now, was this a farm that was in existence like years and years and years ago, and just just never sold it to developers to build houses on it? Is that what it was?
Yay.
Right. The Hobbs family came from Georgia in the early
1907.
1907, and I think the dad bought it in, what was it,
1917.
And you know what? It was funny is they probably went to this church across the street here.
They actually did.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We have this church, and I look at this church across the street, And you picture that one church, and this was all farmland. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of Middle Country Road as a dirt one-lane road, you know, type of
Exactly.
thing. You know, probably that was when Helen was little, right?
Question for you is, have you noticed, you've said you've been in this about 10 years now?
Yeah.
10 years? Have you noticed the farms around Long Island, you know, the farms are getting less and less, have you noticed?
Yeah, but it's more people are turning away from conventional farming and more towards more organic farming and
What's the difference? What do you mean?
conventional farming is where you rototill, and that's what depletes the soil.
Okay.
So the farming that we're doing, which we actually started basically last year, is we're trying to feed the organisms under the ground, which in turn would feed the plants. So we're staying away from, which we always did stay away from harsh chemicals, but we're trying to more focus on the microorganisms.
And the soil.
And the soil.
It's important, basically, the plant needs to grow, and the soil is what's going to feed them. So our focus is on the soil and creating the healthiest soil possible, so then you get the healthiest and strongest plant possible that doesn't allow bugs to get to that plant, and then it produces the best fruit possible and the most nutritious fruit.
Now, how are you doing with this crazy weather? I mean, in the summer, how's it going for you guys? I would think it'd be a challenge.
Is it hurting the business or the
Yeah.
the amount of produce that the stuff that you're getting to be able to put out?
Well, for us, we've learned when to, Mother Nature always, March is a tough month.
It's female, that's why.
Yeah.
It's female, mother. Get it, mother. It's not Father Nature, it'd be fine. If it was Father Nature, it'd be summer all year round. But anyway, that's
We won't even get into that.
We're just kidding. Go ahead.
But March is a tough month. So in April is really when you start really getting further into it. And
What's
stuff.
a typical day for the two of you? Do you have other things that you do besides the farm?
No, they get up in the morning. They
time do you
both
guys-
jump out of bed in the
what
morning and go,
time do you
well,
guys get
I'm
up?"
farm and kind of laid back.
No, I can't imagine. This is a lot of work. I
Yeah,
can't
it is a lot of
imagine.
work.
Well, Jen wears many hats. Many hats.
Right.
So I'll let her.
Tell us your hats, Jen.
Okay, well, mom of 3 kids,
Oh, God
17, 13, and 10.
Okay.
I also have a marketing business, so I am doing that as well. But during season, so from April, May through September, October, it's focused on the farm. So we're up early, but we're normally up early anyway. And we're at the farm. We're either planting, harvesting, engaging the volunteers and the workers at the farm. And then we have a mobile farm stand truck, so we have a schedule with that. So we have to get everything ready
that's
for
good.
that truck.
Where does that truck go?
We have a partnership with Simon Mall, Smith Haven Mall right here.
Okay.
So we're there on Fridays. We have a partnership with Stony Brook Village, so we're down there on Saturdays. We have a partnership with Mather Hospital. We go there during lunchtime on Mondays. And then there's some other things in the works. But the truck makes its rounds. We also have a CSA, which is Community Supported Agriculture, where people buy a membership in the farm and they get a weekly box of organically grown vegetables.
Wow, that's great. What does something like that run? What does that cost?
A half share is $3.75. It also comes, besides the vegetables that we harvest, it comes with a super sauce that's made from our vegetables. We have a chef that prepares soups.
Oh, wow.
for the
Okay,
week-
cool.
so that gives our customer, and our customer is really focused in this area, an instant meal
There
versus
you go.
having to figure out what to create all the time.
They have things now, like I know we get it at home, Blue Apron or something like
Yeah.
that.
Right.
You know, the Blue Apron thing, and my wife loves it. She really does, and the fact that stuff is organic and it's
Yep.
and
a lot of those
that's
companies
great.
source from farms like ours.
Yeah, and that's great. Jay,
Now-
what do you want to say, Jay? I haven't said anything.
Not a fruit and vegetable kind of guy, but I think that's incredible. I mean, look, I'm lucky at this point that I can get up and provide a radio show to local listeners and even national listeners. I can't get up that early just to go outside and
Do
go
you
plant
grow
stuff in the dirt.
Mountain Dew? If you grow Mountain
There
Dew,
it is.
he's
Is
the
there
man for
anything-
you.
He's in Delaware, by the way.
Is there
He's in
anything non-chemical in Mountain Dew?
No,
No.
Yes,
Then we
water,
don't grow it.
water in here.
What had happened was, I had to take the paint off my desk and off my deck at home, and I didn't have any paint thinner, so I just used a can of Mountain Dew and I
Yeah.
poured it on the deck, and it like started to smoke, and that's
Yeah.
what it was all done.
Oh,
So
Now, do you offer education? Because you did mention that schools come to you.
And we go to schools.
And you
yes,
go to
we
schools,
offer
okay.
a ton of education, and we cater the program to the type of school or the type of student that's coming, because we deal with special needs students as well as regular students, and they love coming to the farm.
Yeah,
we have a
I
whole
bet.
program for them, and then we go into schools and we teach them how to garden. A lot of schools have their own gardens. And
My
which is
dad used to
great.
garden.
Yeah, so
when he was alive,
we
yeah.
teach them,
Yeah.
the simple tasks, and then they'll call us, about different questions and things that they're seeing. But, our farm is not just about us growing it and selling it or giving it. It's about encouraging other people to do gardens and to do community gardens. It would be terrific if every community on Long Island had its own little community garden and was really inspired to do that. And that's what we're trying to inspire people to do.
You know what I picture? I picture these two, right? It's like, what you guys remind me of, and I'm sorry. I picture like Carol and the other one from the Magic Garden. I'm waiting for Sherlock to come popping out of the garden. Everybody, a little flower, all the flowers are dancing, Shed and Ann are out there in the fields,
Now,
The flowers might be dancing, but we're not.
I did speak to you, I believe, a couple of times, and you did mention that you have an area where for wheelchairs, handicap.
Oh, that's great too. Yeah.
That you offer.
Well, I'm going to just tell a quick story, and then I'll turn it over to Ann. Ann's son, a little over 6 years ago, was paralyzed from the neck down in a car accident. And he's on a breathing machine, and he would come to the farm and his wheelchair would sink. And so Ann was like, I need to figure something out. So she, and I'll let her tell the story, she got some donations together and built this amazing garden for people with disabilities.
Right, that's
So
great.
Ann
Tell
can-
us, Ann.
Well, it was always our intention when we first started to have wheelchair garden at the farm. We just didn't know how to go about it, and I'm grateful that we didn't, because once my son got into the wheelchair, I realized the do's and don'ts. It's sad that there are so many places that wheelchairs can't go to, and my son, in the very beginning, was at the farm helping me mow the lawn, chopping down vines of poison ivy and stuff like that, whether he wanted to or not.
Yeah.
But when he was in his, when he got into his accident, he really didn't want to go outside anymore. And one day, we live right down the street from the farm, so I was like, no, you're going. And the day I brought him there, his wheelchair sunk into the ground, and it was horrifying for him because he just, his morale was broken.
Yeah.
And so I knew it was important, to finally get this up and running. Because, like I said, our intention was always to bring the VA home to the farm and, get them out and the
Right.
hands dirty and whatever. So Stony Brook University found out what I wanted to do, and they helped me write a grant. And we got a grant from the Christopher Reeve Foundation. And
That's great. I love hearing stories like that. That really is good.
That's beautiful.
That's great, and it's good that you're able to get him out and reestablish his morale.
And
so.
how is he now?
he's good. He goes to
Yeah.
college.
good.
Yeah, and he does speaking engagements as well.
I think
Tells
sometimes
his
when
story.
you step out, like when a lot of times I've known people that have been in similar situations, and if you don't, sometimes you have to push them out the door a little bit,
Yeah.
to get them moving. But once you push and once they realize that they are alive and that they can, and then you have things like what you're offering him now. That's a fabulous thing. It's great.
Exactly.
The beautiful thing I think
I gotta tell you,
what
I'm really impressed because, as a father, I had my child developed a disability, and I had to watch their morale get crushed like that. I'm not sure that I would be able to continue. And for that, I want to just tell you how courageous I think you are and how incredible I think you are as not only just a person for making that happen, but as a mother. Because you found a way to make it work, and that's so admirable and honorable, so thank you.
Well, I think any mother would do that for her son.
I'm sure they
It's
would, but I
just
wouldn't
part
be
of
able to
motherhood.
watch their morale just get crushed like that.
Yeah.
But you thought fast, you made it work, you wrote a grant, and you found a way. So great job.
absolutely. The beautiful thing about their website is you can add meat.
Right
Yes.
up your alley.
Tell us about that. If you have a partnership with Merino down the road here, so that's a great thing. So
Yes.
tell us about that if you would.
Yes, well, Merino Meats, actually, Ann has had a relationship with them, has bought her meats from them for many years. And we actually just thought about collaborating. A lot of people, obviously, we're not anti-meat, but you know, a lot of people want to supplement with good quality meat. So Merino is getting in some organic meats and some really good quality meats and making a good combination for people. So you can go right to Merino Meats and pick up your veggies and your meats every week.
Nice.
So it's
Wow.
a great,
Really,
it's a great,
thing.
it's
Yeah.
part of our CSA share. It's an option for people.
Do you offer prepared meals through them? I know it's like Cow Palace.
We
the
do
butcher
not
shop
offer
does that.
prepared
Okay.
meals, but we partner with some companies who do, and they source vegetables from us.
Okay.
So we, you know, if people are looking for that, you know, your CSA customer is the customer who wants to cook. So it's very different from a customer who needs
On the go,
prepared
just
meals.
wants- yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we can, you know, we kind of push people in different directions, and we try to focus on local businesses because we're really trying to, you know, push the local. The more local you get your food, the healthier you will be.
Well, we're actually planning on doing, trying to cook here on Wednesdays. So maybe we can invite these ladies back one day with, you know, we can put something together and actually have a Heartbeat
have
Farms meal on
them
a,
here, yeah.
you know, I'll starve to death, but it'll be, okay. You know, it'll be
Well, we can
fun.
get Merino
Do you
meats
eat-
involved.
Oh, there you go.
Do you eat vegetables, Eric?
What's a vegetable?
Oh, wow.
No, of course I do. Potatoes, Captain Crunch.
That's not
Ca-
vegetables.
What? Potato's a vegetable. It grows
Well,
underground.
okay.
It surely is.
Let me
Sweet
tell you,
potato?
I'm talking about Brussels
I get,
sprouts
I get my
and,
I get, I get my
broccoli.
roasted tomatoes from
broccoli.
ketchup.
Thank you.
What?
Welcome.
Broccoli. Broccoli tastes like
Asparagus.
What?
Thank you.
What'd you call me?
Asparagus and broccoli and
Cauliflower.
Brussels sprouts and cauliflower and
Yeah.
carrots.
Carrots.
And,
about
and
we-
cucumber
The power
salad.
of Christ compels you.
String beans.
Can I
String
ask you
beans.
guys,
Oh,
have you
sorry.
guys considered-
What if I said it? What if I said it like this? Broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts.
There you go.
String beans.
Can I just ask you guys?
That's
Have
a
you guys
sexy string
considered,
bean.
I guess, affiliating with like Amazon Smiles or what the hell is it, Amazon Prime or Amazon Fresh? Do you guys even know how to go about doing that so that you can provide fresh fruits and vegetables to the local market and economy that way through online sales?
We haven't yet.
Okay.
Heartbeat.
Is that something you guys are looking into then?
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
I don't even know how
Yeah,
to go
no,
about
no,
doing
no,
that.
that's a
I
great-
have a
it's-
question from Randy Steele. Says maybe you should suggest to them about being registered on Amazon and things like that. So
Absolutely. Thank
reading
you.
the comment, I don't know what the hell
Randy's
that
got a
means.
big boat in the water in Miami.
No, Fort Lauderdale. Get
I
to
have-
Florida right.
Sorry, Fort Lauderdale.
I have a question about you're obviously organic.
Yes.
And how do you feel about the foods that say they're certified organic in the supermarkets? Because I really don't believe it. Because I've bought certified organic, and I know you have to eat it right away, otherwise it's going to go bad. But I don't eat it right away, and I look at it, and I'm like, this is still okay. Why is this still okay if it's still supposed to be
But
organic?
is it still
So-
okay? How do you really know?
Yeah. So how do you feel about that? Because I think a lot of the certified stuff in the supermarkets are not really organic.
Well, I mean, they are based on what they're saying. How that's being defined
Yes.
varies. I always use the example, as you ever go to a supermarket and you eat an organic apple or an organic tomato and there's no taste. It's like no taste.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of our fruit and vegetables are certified organic, but they're coming from like hydroponic farms in Mexico and the Netherlands, and they're not nutrient dense. They're not growing in soil, so they're not getting all the nutrients that create that flavor and taste that we all love. So sometimes it's better to buy from a local farm that may not be growing organically than it is to buy from a grocer that's getting an apple from Mexico or the Netherlands. And I'm not against hydroponics. I just think that we need to figure out how to measure the nutritional value of our fruits and vegetables to make sure that if I'm eating an organic apple, am I really getting nutrition or am I
Right.
getting something that's just saying organic?
Yeah.
Our focus is always buy local, whether it's our farm or some other farm, buy your fruits and vegetables
Yeah,
as much as you
absolutely.
can, obviously the weather contingent, locally as possible, because you're getting them picked from the vine right down the road
Right.
versus coming from another country. Think about how long that took to ship here. They had to
Well,
spray it with something.
I love tomatoes. And when I would take a ride out on the island and get the tomatoes from the farms, they would be, oh my gosh, they're so good.
Delicious.
And then you run out of them, and okay, I'm in the supermarket, and you pick up a tomato, and it is the mealiest, most tasteless thing that's like, oh man, I end up throwing it out. And I hate wasting food, but if it doesn't taste good, of course I'm not going to eat it. So you guys grow tomatoes, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, good.
And
I
many
never-
varieties.
Not here.
But also,
Good.
the one thing I want to point out, even when you buy in the supermarkets, when it
Yeah.
says local, it's not micro-local. They consider like Pennsylvania local.
Really?
Yeah, so you got to think about from the time when they're shipping it to the time that they're packing it to the, and till the time that it's coming out onto the shelf. With us, it's picked that day.
So say if I'm in the supermarket and what do? Check where it's, check the label as to where it's been or where it's come from?
I have to tell you, I haven't bought vegetables in
Many
a long
supermarkets
time.
will tell you.
Well, listen, I'll tell you
Wow.
what. You
Oh,
got.
Ann.
Let me
That's
explain.
good to know,
Let
though.
me just say this. Like
Yes.
the farm is right up the road.
Yeah.
Okay, this
Right.
is the
And now
thing.
you and now you're friends with them.
I'm paying attention.
See
I have a
that?
question. Okay, so, when I'm down in Florida, we would get our fruits and vegetables like every couple of days because if you get so much and you don't eat it, it goes bad too quickly.
Right.
What do you recommend for somebody? Like I'm in Wading River. So I stop by you and I want for a good 3 to 4 days enough fruits and vegetables to last me, but not go bad. What do you recommend to storing, keeping them fresh as long as possible? Is there an answer to that?
Well, the leafy greens, I would stand them straight up. Don't lay them flat. Don't stick them in the drawer and put things on top of them. You can stand them straight up. You can put them in a little bit of water. Just
Okay.
change the water. Tomatoes, don't put in the refrigerator.
Right, I don't.
Yeah,
Right.
that much I know.
A
I
lot of
didn't know
people
that.
do, and
Yeah, we
that
do.
actually,
I just shove everything right in there.
I used
put
to.
the lunch meat on top of it,
Hey,
slam the door
Eric,
shut.
Really,
you know?
just eat a tomato. Eat a tomato today.
You know, it's really great what you guys are doing. Again, what's funny is that I found you guys on Alignable. All right, Alignable. Had I not been looking on Alignable, I wouldn't. I hate to say it, I wouldn't have known. Okay, and now for all of you people out there that are listening, that are here, it doesn't matter where you are on Long Island. The bottom line is that the farm is there. Heartbeat Farms exists. You don't have to travel all the way out to to the east end of Long Island to be able to get quality product like what these ladies are offering to you. And it's a great thing that what they're doing for the community and for people in general. 9 years ago, I went to Farm Aid. All right, and I was introduced to organic. I never knew, but organic milk, for instance, let's give that organic milk. You could taste the difference. You certainly, you can certainly taste the difference. So if you have, going to a supermarket and saying, hey, I want to buy something organic, but if you're buying something directly from the farm, it doesn't get any better than that. It really, really doesn't. And for what you guys are doing, I applaud you for that. And I intend on singing your praises and letting people know that you exist. There used to be right over here in Smithtown, like on Edgewood Avenue, okay? We would come from Kings Park and we would go to the Smith Haven Mall. And you would get almost to the end, almost into St. James. On the left-hand side was a farm stand. On the right-hand side was a farm stand. And my mother and father would always stop at these farm stands, okay? They're housing developments.
Yep.
They're housing developments now. And you know what? When you go knock on someone's door and ask if they have tomatoes or broccoli in those developments, they don't know what you're talking about. So you can, no, I'm kidding. But anyway, seriously, there's no real, even in Hop Hog on Route 111, there used to be a farm stand. It's not there anymore. They're gone. Now they're selling sunflowers, and this doesn't exist in this part of Long Island anymore. This to me brings back country, that country feeling. My family out in Indiana owned farms. My cousin Dwight still owns farms. But now, what was the olden days, where like when I'd visit my Uncle Howard and my aunt, they didn't have plumbing in the house until 1972. Their house was like in the middle of this giant cornfield. They worked farms, and this is what their families did for ages and ages and ages. Now, Dwight, after everybody has passed on, Dwight is more, my aunt Carrie and Uncle Howard's house is now turned into the office for the farm, and now it's more of technology and it wasn't what it used to be. You guys are bringing it back to what it used to be, and that's a fabulous thing, and I applaud you for that. And I seriously, I implore all of you out there, the name of the website or the way you get to the website is www.heartbeatfarms.com. You can check all about. Don't worry, there's meat. Go down and hug your butcher. Seriously, guys, if somebody wants to get I gather you have like packages of meals and things like that. Is there something like Blue Apron that you put together? Did I understand this correctly? That somebody can buy? Like if I come to you and I say, I want to buy a package thing. We can go to Marino's. Can I go to you? Or what's the best way to do that? How can we do that?
Well, you come to us.
Okay.
Go right to the website,
Right.
and all the options are listed on the CSA page. We don't prepare meals.
Right.
But we have the vegetables and the meat.
So we cook
potentially.
them. We have to cook them.
Yes,
All
but
right.
we do have other partner companies that will do that
Okay.
for you.
Gotcha.
So if people are really looking for that, we can refer them to local companies that either are preparing the actual meal or doing the Blue Apron thing where they're giving you all the ingredients for the meal and all you have to do is kind of put it together in the kitchen.
Absolutely. I do that with grilled cheese sandwiches.
Eric.
I looked up grilled cheese
Really?
and taught how to. Can you guys?
Brussels
What about
sprouts.
shipping? What?
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels. What about shipping to other states or sending stuff?
Our focus is local.
Local. Okay.
We need to get Town of Brookhaven, Town of Smithtown, and Town of Islip eating healthy.
Okay, gotcha. There you go. All right. Notice, well, she said islip. I'm in hot box, so I guess that means.
Do you do like for Halloween? Do you have like the pumpkins? Do you have kids come?
Yes,
and
we
you
do. We do a fall festival.
Okay.
Where kids can have hay rides, bounce
Oh, nice.
houses.
Okay.
Nice. There you go. So tell them, where's the farm? What's the address of the farm so people want to visit?
It's 178 Ox Head Road, right here in Center Reach.
Very good.
Where
There
do you
go.
see your future? What do you want to see happen a year
In
from
10
now?
years, she wants to be herself in 10 years.
There you go.
There you go. All right.
Yeah. Well, guys, my daughter actually lives on Oxhead. My daughter lives on Oxhead Road. So,
Oh, wow,
it's right
okay.
there. That's the Exxon station over there. You
Yep.
make a left. So if you're heading down Middle Country Road, you pass where you pass the studio, you pass where the gas truck exploded, you pass where the carpet store burned down. We live in a fun neighborhood, all right? No, seriously, if you're coming down Middle Country Road, if you see Wendy's on the right-hand side, you've gone too far. So you go by the Exxon station, that's Oxhead Road. That's right over past CVS Exxon, make a left, I gather, on Oxhead
Yes,
Road.
yes.
Take it down. It's called Heartbeat Farms. The website is HEARTBEET farms.com. We have Ann and we have Jennifer. Go there. I swear to God, I'm looking at these two and I keep waiting for Sherwood the squirrel to pop up behind the tree going, hi, and Ann with the guitar going, it's sunshine in the morning. Anyway, just kidding. I used to, but it's a great feeling. It brings me back to my childhood days. Like Helen, when you used to listen to old time radio and Bob Hope and stuff like that,
She wants to shove a string bean.
Coming up right after this, we have Sogi Joe of New York Martial Arts, of course, out there in Huntington, and I'm anxious to hear what Joe has to say with everything going on in the world. Joe, by the way, this guy behind you, Joe, he probably would eat healthy and everything like that. He actually is many degrees black belt instructor for the Guardian Angels. Okay, and yeah, that's Joe over there. The guy, but what's funny is what we do with Joe all the time is we talk about you with the Magic Garden and things like that. What we do is we have fun with people in here, and we do things like this. I'll show you what we do with Joe, just to show you, because Joe is coming on right after you guys. So hold on. What we do with Joe is we go like this. Where are we here? Where'd it go? Here we go. Let me go like this. You ready, Jay, to do your thing? Here we go. Hello, boys and girls. I'm Soki Joe, and today we're going to teach you how to kick people in the butt and win fights. Absolutely. Can you bust ass? I knew you could. Go ahead, Jay.
Look at his face.
Won't you be my sensei?
We love you, Joe. We love all of you. Yes, we do. Okay, little girls, you're not supposed to hit people in the throat with your phones. Now, come on now. Come on, Joe. We love you, Joe. Just messing. We mess around. I hope you had a good time. What?
Jamie
Eric,
and
did you hear what I
chat.
did for Soki Joe in my shuffle show?
Yeah. Well, hold it 1 second. 1 second, Jay. Oh, what was that, Lisa?
Jamie in chat says, "Oh my God, they are really local. This is great. I can't wait to go."
There you
so
go.
There's a lot of people that aren't even aware that you're here.
There you go. Absolutely. All right. So, ladies, listen.
Hey, Eric?
Yeah, Jay.
They're gonna enjoy this. Did you hear what I did for Soki Joe in my shuffle show?
No, what'd you do?
I said, "Oh, and this one goes out to somebody special. Soki Joe, we love you."
You know what's funny? You know what people tell me though? They'll say, like, when we do things like that and we joke around a little bit, it makes them, they remember it. You know, it's like they remember, they like to laugh, they like to joke around. Although Joe is one of the most serious individuals when it comes to martial arts that you ever want to meet. When you meet someone that comes in here and can laugh and joke and have a good time, that not only does it show that he's a professional and serious, but he's real, you know, and you can really talk to this man. And he understands humanity, and he understands what's going on as far as the bullying and the mental health issues and things like that. And he really adds to our show, and that's why we're glad to have Joe in here. In all seriousness, we're glad to have him in. All right, that's what you wrote, Joe, right? I read off what you wrote me here? No. Just here. And Jennifer, listen, I consider you guys friends of the show right now, and we want to talk to you again. I mean, we got the springtime coming up, we got the summertime coming up. We'd love to even come down there and do a live broadcast from the farm.
That'd be
terrific. You know, because here's the thing: when I was little, my mother used to buy me these little bags of seeds. You remember, the seeds you can buy
Right next to the dog and play with them.
And I would plant the little seed. You know, I would plant the little seed, and my mother would give me a little paper cup, and I'd take the little seed and I'd put it in the dirt and I'd cover it all nice, and I'd water that little seed every day, and I'd wait, and I'd wait. Nothing would be coming out of that dirt, and I'd water it more, and still, finally, a little green sprout would appear. A little green sprout would appear, and
Did you talk to it?
I
You should have
did.
talked
I
to
did.
it.
I would say, "Hello, little green sprout," and then the damn thing would die.
No, you have to talk.
And my mother would bring me seeds the next year, and I go, "What the hell are you bringing me seeds for? Nothing grows here. I can't get anything to grow in this damn. You're giving me a cup. How am I supposed to start a farm in a paper cup?"
You talk like that, nothing's gonna grow. You have a
I'd say,
lot of
"Grow, little
anger.
seed, grow," and it wouldn't grow.
No, you have to say.
Do you know what it's like? The little green sprout would appear in the cup, and then it would pull itself back into the ground.
I never had that problem.
I didn't even know what the hell I was growing.
Maybe you
My
should-
mother would give me little things that would look at the picture. It'd be beautiful things, of ears of corn that you drive down the road and you see ears of corn growing. I couldn't get a little green sprout
You
to grow.
can't grow corn in a paper cup. That makes some. It just makes sense. I mean, I'm just saying.
Maybe you should have caressed it, talked dirty to it. Like,
Talk dirty
hello,
to it.
hello, little sprout. Grow, grow, just grow. You're so beautiful.
You're a really sick person.
Let me just tell you guys real quick.
Are you guys
It's
enjoying
very
this? Because we're
interesting
crazy.
to
We
know
are. We're not. What?
It's
What?
very interesting to know that by Eric planting that little seed, his mom taught him a very valuable lesson.
Which
Now
one?
today, Eric has 9 children.
That's right. I mean, if my seed wasn't going to grow in the cup, it was growing somewhere. No. So, no.
That
so,
was good, Jace.
No, actually, I do have 9 children, but it's yours, mine, and ours. All right? Even though I know that the two of you are looking at me and going, "We get it. I understand." You know, they do call me the sexual dynamo. That's what they call me, and women want me, and I
In his
understand.
dreams, just
Right
saying.
now, I know, but no, serious. Yours, mine, and ours. Yours, and I have my oldest is I have from 36 now down to the 8-year-old, and I have 7 grandchildren in all range of ages. That
And
most
he
of the
hates
grandchildren
Christmas.
actually live in the Center East Selden area.
Nice.
You're
So-
old enough to be our grandpa too, aren't you?
Oh!
I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm on fire.
Somebody
She
put alcohol
is.
in
Fire
I'm
is the-
loving it.
Fire is the
feisty.
word. Just add a D.
Oh,
right.
nice
That
knowing
was
you, Lise.
good.
Bye, Lise.
Wait, I
I'll
was
miss
on
you.
your side today.
Oh, all right. I'm staying. Yeah.
All right.
That's true.
See, we do real
Truth
quick
comes
because we want to
out.
bring Joe on here real quick. I just want like to show you things like, for instance, what does Helen Castellano think of?
You mean Maria?
Maria Castellano. I'm sorry, Maria Castellano. What do you think of? What do you think of Heartbeat Farms?
Well, let me tell you.
Yeah. What do you tell me, Ray?
You know what?
What?
If you bury something,
Right. Go ahead.
could that something
Yeah. Right.
help something else grow? Could we, if, like, say, could you be pushing up daisies?
Like if she wants to
Oh,
bury our Uncle Benny.
I didn't say that. I did not
Just
say
say the
You know,
truth.
little
You
sister,
want
I
to
swear to
bury
God,
Uncle
every
Benny.
time you
Oh,
do
wait.
this,
We have
I
a
was
special.
asking
Oh,
a question.
hold on. We do have a special phone call.
Jeez.
There's actually we do have somebody calling now from upstate New York.
gonna get me in
Mr.
trouble
Clinton.
again.
Bill, are you there? Bill Clinton. Bill, are you there? Bill, are you there?
Yes,
Hey, Bill. Good morning. Are you listening to the show this morning, Bill?
yes, I am.
How are you,
Is
Bill?
Monica there with you?
Let me tell you guys about what I've planted.
Or what did you bury?
All right.
I'm sure Monica can tell us
Oh,
what
and
you
and you know
planted.
what? We actually have this young little lady that comes into the show every once in a while, and she would love to visit the farm. Her name is Missy. Good morning, Missy. How are you?
Hi, I'm Clement.
Hi, Missy. How are you?
Hi.
Are you enjoying this morning?
Yes.
Do you want to go to Heartbeat Farms?
I do. I want to go to the farm. I want to plant something.
What do you want to plant, Missy?
I want to plant
corn.
Yeah.
And I don't like broccoli.
All right, thank you, Missy. So that's what we do here at the Cop and Crew Show. So thank you, ladies. We're a little bit nuts, but we have a good time doing it. So, all right, guys, Heartbeat Farms. It's HeartBeat, not BEAT. If it was BEAT, they'd be a band, and it'd be like they'd be doing like straight on through Heartbeat. Get it?
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, good.
All right, listen, we got Silky Joe coming up. Ladies, thank you so much. All right,
Thank you.
thank you guys. All
Thanks,
right.
Jen. Thanks,
much.
Ann.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
great.
much.
Jay, you got
Thank
something you could
We'll
talk
see
about
you
for a few
soon.
minutes while we switch around
I
here?
absolutely do.
All right, go, Jay. Do your thing.
Here we go. Do my thing. So here's a question. We were discussing the Oscars earlier, and one thing I don't understand is why that's so important. But I pulled a Lisa, and I have found 50 interesting facts about the Oscars. Now, of course, just like Lisa, I'm not going to read all of them, but it appears that the youngest award winner was Tatum O'Neal, who won Best Supporting Actress for Paper Moon in 1973, and she was only 10 years old. So I think that's very interesting if you think about it. I mean, even children back then were being recognized for their contribution to movies. Now, the oldest award winner at the age of 82, Christopher Plummer, became the oldest to win the Academy Award for Best Actor in a Supporting Role for Beginners in 2010. So, I mean, of course, it stretches the gamut. Now, of course, just like I mentioned before, you have the Me Too movement and everything like that. And, I always tend to disagree. I don't think that is the place to do it. I don't think that is the platform when you're trying to recognize people and appreciate people for their awards and their great contributions to acting and directing and things like that. But, that's just me. Anyway, the first Academy Awards, which took place at the private diner for about 270 people, were presented in 1929 at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel in Los Angeles, California. So they've been doing this since 1929. And the first woman to win Best Director was Catherine Bigelow, who came in the first woman in history to win the Best Director award for her film The Hurt Locker in 2009. So, look, there's Magic Mike in there too. Hi, Magic Mike, I see ya. Just, you're not on the mic, but just wave your hand anyway. The most Best Actress Oscar, Katharine Hepburn won a record 4 Actresses Awards on the Golden Globe Pond. It's the name of the movie, I'm sorry. The Golden Pond in 1981. The Lion in Winter in 1968. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner in 1967. And Morning Glory in 1933. So she holds the record for the most Oscars for herself. Now, The Midnight Cowboy in 1969 is the only X-rated film to ever win the Best Picture. Now, of course, I haven't seen it. Just looking at the profile here, it is in black and white. So I'm not going to get involved in it. And somehow that looks like Dustin Hoffman. I don't know. But it was the very first X-rated film to win Best Picture. 1969. Now, record nomination for Best Actress. Meryl Streep has been nominated a record 18 times, winning 2 Best Actress Oscars for Sophie's Choice in 1983 and The Iron Lady in 2012, and 1 Best Supporting Actress for Kramer vs. Kramer in 1980. Oh, bless you, Lisa. I think that's what you did. And, of course, Eric has all the mics turned off. Eric doesn't have your guys' mic on, but that's all right. Now, the longest winner, okay, check this out. At 234 minutes, Gone with the Wind, done in 1939, is the longest of all movies to win Best Picture award. Now, look, see, here's the thing. I recognize a lot of these movies. I do. I've heard about them. I've probably seen a couple. And, it's very interesting to know that they still have, that they're still showing support for them. I like this one. With 10 wins, Italy is the country.
Your microphones were off. Sorry.
Thank you.
I killed the mic.
I hope mine wasn't off.
No, yours was on. Yours
No,
was on
but,
just fine.
but we had you loud and clear.
We're
Well,
just
what about Woody Allen? I think he got more than Katharine Hepburn. Not necessarily just for acting, but more for
I think we're
directing.
talking what, nominations?
Oh, yes. Yes, nominations.
Yeah, I think she has the most nominations for a female.
Yes.
So,
what did you think of the scene? I thought they were great. I really did.
Heartbeat Farms.
Happy Farms. Yes, it's Happy Farms. We're having a naked day there, and it's going to be totally.
What? I walked away for a minute, and you're having naked days.
We are. We're gonna have Eric Stock.
Oh, jeez.
It was a very important minute.
We should do that. I wonder if they do that. We could have a band at the farm. You know what I'm saying?
You know, the funny thing is, like,
Traffic backed up, be like Woodstock. You know,
like just to go back
naked
to
women all over the place. You know what?
Just
What?
to go back with Jace, actually, the first actor that won the Best Actor award ended up working for Adolf Hitler.
Really?
Which is like an odd thing. He did like a lot of
What, did you room with him?
A lot of the Nazi political movies after the first Oscars, which I think the first Oscars was like the 20s, and Hitler's rise was like 30s, you know.
Well, right now, waiting patiently in the side wings is man that comes in on Mondays or Wednesdays, but always a pleasure to have him in. And we have.
Good morning, Soapy Joe. Good morning. How are you?
Oh, there's.
All right, I guess.
The crowd is going wild.
You look really good in blue.
It's Soapy Joe, ladies and gentlemen. The crowd are going nuts.
Blue
They're on
is
their
Soapy Joe's color.
They're on their feet, Joe. They're loving you. There you go. Yeah. So.
Goodbye now.
He's gonna come in there and totally Soaky Joe you.
What is he gonna do?
Soaky Joe you.
Soaky Joe me.
Oh, I like that.
Oh, actually. Oh, wait. I forgot. We have Mike too. We have Mike.
Just in time for parting thoughts.
Just about there, kiddo.
Yeah, we're,
Hey, so, Joe, I don't know if you heard or not, but did you hear that I gave you a shout out on my show?
No.
Yeah, you know my show that goes out to the UK?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Well, I do a show that goes out to the UK and of course, on several other internet radio stations around here. And, of course, I didn't pull the Eric Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, but I played something special for you. And I said, hey, check out my buddy Soaky Joe.
Oh,
And
Joe.
at the end of the song, I said, just to let everybody know, we are friends, but he's still going to kick my ass after this.
The crowd is going wild.
I hear crickets myself.
Yeah.
Joe.
We're really on a roll today, and I love it.
Yeah.
Roll this.
Lisa and Helen's show. Just
Listen,
saying.
Joe,
Yeah,
more
that's
shootings,
all right.
more shootings, kids shooting their parents.
It's going to get worse.
You know,
It's gonna-
knifings,
it's gonna get worse.
university.
It's so awful.
Even here on Long Island, people threatening, you know, the students, even after
It's
they
gonna
know.
it's going to get worse.
So, what do you got to say? What's on the,
There's got to be a protocol put in where everybody, it's got to be done locally. It's got to be done with the school. It's got to be done. Everybody's got to work together just to keep the kids safe.
I said this morning, I don't know whether you heard me this morning when I was talking about in the 7 o'clock hour, but Psychology Today came out with a magazine article where they're talking about people and how their defenses, you know, talking about all of this language that like the average layman can't understand, or
Right.
you know, and it's like the bottom line here is in talking to people in the mental health field, you know, well, here's the thing with the kid that just killed his parents,
Right.
okay, at the university,
Right.
you know, they're talking to a good friend of his, and the friend is like, I can't believe that this happened. It's, you know, I never, you know, he was so polite. He was such a nice person. You know, my parents loved him. You know, you could date my sister. He was so wonderful. And yeah, he was, you know, so you got these people that have, you know, this deep inner self that doesn't come out because people are afraid to, you know, they don't know how to express themselves until it gets to a point of such rage and anger that you want to kill somebody, you know. And it's like the mental health professionals all well, there's privacy laws and we can't talk about this, or we're just going to give somebody a pill and here, take this pill, it'll solve your problem, you know.
The pills, pills do not work because the last person in Parkland, I think he was on some type of medication.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure of it. I have to do my own due diligence
Absolutely.
on that, but
All right.
that didn't help.
What do you see? You're here on Long Island, and you deal with a lot of young people as well as adults in teaching martial arts. I mean, what do you most of the people coming to you, are they coming to you because they want to learn how to fight? Are they coming to you because they what is the reason most people want to learn from you, Joe? What would you say?
Half is protection, self-defense, and the other half is the fact that they don't feel relaxed. They're very stressed. They're not grounded. Sometimes they feel almost like helpless with what they can do. They're bombarded with too much information.
Okay.
They're not grounded. They're not relaxed. They're not talking to each other. Everybody's too involved with mobile technology. They're not really talking to people. Like that person I talked to like last week, that he was talked to and everything calmed down. If the person was not talked to, the thing would have gotten worse. It would have escalated. person was ranting and raving in a public place. I can't do this, can't do that. There's the families in there and everything, and he had to be talked to by 2-3 people to calm down.
You heard about what happened out at, you heard about there was a wedding party at Eastwind.
yeah.
It was a wedding party at Eastwind, and apparently there were people there also from the Hagerman Fire Department, and they're claiming intoxication. But 40 to 50 people got into a fight.
40 to 50 people.
40 to 50 people right out here.
That's not a fight. That's a riot.
That's what it was. They classified it as a riot.
That's
and,
a riot.
And the groom got injured. This is somebody's wedding that this happened at. 4 people got arrested. There was also, arrested, I gather, because people were resisting arrest. But, it's just, this is...
Weren't there firemen
Yeah,
involved?
they were. It was a Hagerman. And, I feel bad because I was just at Hagerman Fire Department for the Chinese auction that Debbie Loesch had.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So a lot of these firemen, let's face it. I hate to stereotype people, but if you're a fireman, you drink. Firemen love to have parties.
Drinks, alcohol, and drugs and pills do not make people sane and calm.
Right.
They
Absolutely.
make
It
people do
impairs,
stupid things.
absolutely,
Yep.
yeah.
Yes,
They don't make people talk to
It's
each other.
true.
They're incoherent. They're just
That's why I only got drunk 3 times by accident.
by accident.
How'd you have the 4th kid?
Wow. Whoa.
Sorry, that was
Quick.
good.
Was that a
You
curve
quick.
or a slow ball?
That was just a payback for the bitch slap that she'd be giving me all morning long.
Really? Just
Yeah.
What?
You're
can't
lucky
make
she doesn't
it?
have my skill set.
Some string beans. What? What?
I do.
What?
love
That's
you.
a circle. That's
Who's
not
that
a heart.
for?
What
Is that
the-
for Mike?
No,
Who's that for?
It's a circle of trust.
If I
Yeah,
was a
circle of
homosexual, I would love Mike. I really would. If I had $1 million, you hear that song?
Yeah.
If I was a homosexual. Sorry.
You can
Sorry.
probably add that time too, because
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
sure.
all right. Is that insulting? Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
No, I mean,
Somebody.
yeah,
Soki
no,
Joe,
I'll add it.
There's nothing wrong about being a
Yeah.
homo.
No.
Do you
Sick
believe
people.
that all of this is like a sign of the times because we do live in the information age and we have to know everything? That's why we have the mobile technology.
Right.
Do you think it's a sign of the times that our society is like suppressing their feelings, either through drugs, alcohol, pills,
Yeah.
or just the fact that we medicalize almost everything?
But we put a spin on stuff instead of expressing our feelings, instead of being honest, instead of owning up, just telling somebody that whether they're making us happy or they're annoying us. And we can compromise and really talk to each other, and there's a line of communication. People are afraid to talk about anything because they're changing their words of how to speak. They're worried about speaking because they're saying the wrong words. And it's just utterly ridiculous. There's no communication, really. The way
At
when
what-
I was growing up, there's no real communication.
At what
50% of it's missing.
Where did things change so drastically? I'm 45. Growing up, things were not like this. Is it mainly the technology? Like, where have things
Where do we
gone
go
so
wrong? And
wrong?
where we go
I noticed a difference
what
now,
point?
and I graduated high school about 10 years ago.
Right.
But the way the kids are learning now is completely different than
Yes.
the way
Yes.
I learned.
Yes.
And I know in 10 years from now, they're saying schools might be paperless.
Is it the parenting? Is it parenting? Is it the schools? What is it? What is so different today than when I was growing up?
The parents sitting down on a Sunday meal, having dinner without these, just talking to each other, going to a church service or a synagogue or a temple and just praying, just doing things together as a family.
Yep.
Neighbors knowing each other instead of, mom's got to go work because, it's so expensive around here anyway. My mom was home, and she took care of us, and my father was out working, but my mom was always there. And when my dad was there, he was there. And everybody in the neighborhood knew what everybody else was doing. If one of the kids got misbehaved or there was something going on, everybody knew about it, but everybody chipped in and helped out.
Yeah.
Now everybody's not communicating with each other. They'd rather talk on this. They'd rather text. When I even text today, I'd rather talk to someone for real because I can sense on the phone their tone of voice, what kind of a day they're having. When they're texting, I can't find that out. So as a human being, how do we communicate without that real communication?
It's right, and
Where's
that's why
where's the grounding?
I think martial arts plays a big part in my son's life, my young son, and I see a lot. When you could see an 8-year-old, and I'm very proud of
Oh,
Martin.
by the way, your kid has a terrific round kick.
Does he really? Thank
He's
you.
going to cause somebody a very bad hair day.
Well, that's why I said, we tell him all the time, we said, you can't use what you know. I'm amazed. And here's the thing, tomorrow, and I said this to you too, and I hope you're coming back. Tomorrow we have in the studio here, we're going to have Mike Blumenthal, who is Martin's sensei from Millennium, and I invited Joe to come in, and I would like to have a discussion about, because I honestly believe that with martial arts and the way you teach and the way Mike teaches, and there's a lot of parents out there that might consider letting their child learn and go to these schools. And I'm doubling up here for some reason, because here's an article that was written, and I said this the other day, just real quick. This is the first, what they say here. It says, do you ever look around at modern day America and have a nagging feeling something is wrong? It's, well, things aren't what they used to be. Let's take the bedrock of America, the family unit. So it seems nowadays millions of Americans are struggling to create lasting, fulfilling, happy marriages. Mom, pop, and the kids are in real danger of becoming obsolete. One of the most turbulent decades in U.S. history is the 1960s. In just 10 years, the moral values and traditions that shaped America were turned upside down. The swinging 60s gave birth to the sexual revolution, which changed the game of love dramatically, and the family unit, the one strong bedrock of the nation, has suffered the consequences. When you compare how things were before the 60s as to how they are now, it's as though you're comparing two totally different worlds. In those bygone days, couple met, and it goes on and on and on and on and on to talk. But this is what Mike is saying and what Joe is saying. I think what Helen said before and what Lisa said, the family unit, as people don't sit down to dinner anymore, and people don't go to church anymore, and people don't, I said something the other day about giving people suggestions as to how to have a conversation with your child rather than just saying, how was school today? Or was your day okay? You give somebody a yes or no answer, you're going to get a yes or a no. You get some, like I said,
start it with a question and go into a dialogue or a conversation.
I tried it though. He was going to bed. I put my kid to bed. I put Martin to bed, and I looked at him and go, "So, did you make anybody smile today?" And he looked at me like, "What?" Seriously, that's what he did. He goes, "What?" And I was like, "Did you make anybody smile today?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Who?" He goes, and he told me his friend's name. I said, "Why? How did you make him smile?" And out of Martin's mouth comes, "Because I listened to him."
Wow.
And that's when Martin, because Martin had told me about, and this is the thing, Martin had told me about this one kid who said he didn't win the science fair.
Okay.
He said, he told Martin that because he didn't win the science fair, his parents are going to put him to work. They're going to put him to work.
We spoke about this.
Right.
What was the outcome of this?
I don't have an outcome yet, but here's the other thing is, and then also was his parents, to wake him up, slam him against the wall.
Yeah.
So I said, "Martin, who told you this?" And he said, "Well, he did."
Wow. Can I just want to say though, I mean, how much of that is exaggerated?
I agree. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's true. I mean, it could be, if you walk up to a child that's sleeping and touch them on the shoulder, you're slamming them against the wall. If the kid could have been saying,
like for Tristan, I do have to put my hand on his stomach, and then sometimes if I'm in a joking mood, I'll be like boing 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 on the bed.
Yeah, but you're joking. You love your kid. I'm just saying. Well, I think what it could be too, if I like this kid when it's talking, he didn't win the science fair, so maybe mom or dad said, "Well, next year you got to work a little bit harder." That might have been putting him to work. As far as slamming him against the wall, to a child, exaggeration. Maybe he has trouble waking him up in the morning. Who knows? I don't know. The bottom line is the family unit is disappearing. We need to be able to gain that back.
Back to the basics.
And I think martial arts, believe it or not, a lot of people, I'm not going to put my child into martial arts. I don't want him to learn how to fight.
It's not about fighting. It's about self-improvement. It's about respect. It's about kindness. It's about traditions that go back thousands of years. And the reason they did that, it was out of people who were disrespecting, and they were tired of getting beaten up and robbed and everything. And they did it out of their own culture, just to build up their own respect. It's not about beating somebody up. It's about protecting yourself.
You're right. Absolutely right.
Ed K in chat says, any sport or activities that require discipline bring culture and self-control.
There you go.
I agree.
Well,
with
tomorrow
that
we're going to do this again. We're going to have a little conversation about this because I'm bringing in two of the experts, two very highly respected individuals in that art and that I respect highly. And I want to talk about it, because here's the thing: everybody's so busy talking about it, and nobody's offering any solutions to it. All right, so my solution, what I found, it works for me, it works for Linda, is having a child that's involved in sports. And you know what? My kid plays video games. He does. If he's home, he's on his Xbox One. And there are some parents out there that say, "Oh, I don't believe that a child should be allowed to play video games, and it's bad for them and everything like that." The way I looked at it is, if I can communicate with my child, and my child is doing what he's supposed to be doing in school, and my kid is involved in sports, and he has outdoor activities, and he's excelling in certain things, if he wants to play video games, that's fine. If a child is, if you got a child playing, what's the game? The car stealing game.
Photo.
Yeah, if you're playing that and that's what he's doing, and he's mesmerized by the television set doing, his Xbox One with that type of game, where it's all about war and killing and death, and he's not excelling in life, you need to take a good look at your kid and say, okay, what are we doing wrong here? We need to be able to put him on a different path. And I think what I'm asking you guys tomorrow is to help us get the kids into a different path. What you do in your dojo, what Mike does in his dojo, when I see the amount of children and the respect that they have for you guys, and what they're learning, they bring that home with them, and that's important to me. So there you go. Coming up at 10:30 this morning, we have Laura Sikorsky, and Sikorsky's Laura has a great show, and she has a great guest on today, so we're looking forward to that. I want to thank Mike for coming in on time today. Mike, you got 10 minutes to 10? I'm just kidding, Mike. I know you got a busy life. It's rough being a silent killer out there in the world.
Oh gosh.
Did you see Mike attending a hitman school?
Yeah. No, I love Mike. Mike, you know what? It's like, you got that John Lennon look. You really do.
What?
John Lennon. If he put the round glasses on and I gave him a guitar, he'd be like,
I was too busy making other plans.
All we are saying is give Mike a chance.
Right. Give him a chance.
Listen,
Look at Helen.
Sinigliero, you talk too much. All right, what's on your mind? Parting thoughts.
Everybody have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Mike, parting thoughts. Thanks, Mike. Anyway, all right, go ahead.
Stay safe. Happy 90th to the Oscars, and we'll have a good dialogue about this whole thing tomorrow.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it.
Lovely Lisa Marie. You're lovely, by the way. You really are. You bring sunshine
You know
to
what,
the
Eric?
show.
I still think
You
that
do.
you need to tell Soki Joe how much you appreciate him.
Oh, you
I will.
should.
When I haven't gotten to Joe yet. He's next.
Okay.
Lisa, you are the sunshine of my, you are the sunshine of my life. And Helen, you're okay. Anyway.
I have a Monday quote. It's Monday. Get a new perspective. Whatever obstacle you're facing, it's not permanent.
Absolutely.
Happy Monday.
Good one.
And I did tell Joe, tell Joe how much he was appreciated when I started before I actually brought him over here. And
Oh, we didn't hear it, so say it again.
Joe, you are much appreciated. And why? Because you know what, let me put it this way. There are a lot of things that Joe's been asking for his interviews and things like that, and I've been procrastinating on it. I haven't got a lot of things done that he's asking for because he wants to help and he wants to get the show out there and he has people that can promote it. So I made a list of all my faults, this weekend actually.
Wow.
Oh, let
typical
me read them
weekend.
tomorrow.
Wow, long.
Can I read them tomorrow?
Too much.
Maybe Helen and I could do a skit.
Hold on, I'll give them to you right now. You can read them on the air. Hold on.
Okay.
You really have a
he's not
list?
coming. No, he doesn't
Yes.
have. Oh,
He
Let's
does?
start with A.
It's a piece of lint.
seriously? And there's
Lent for
nothing
Lent.
on it. Really? Really?
What
No,
am I
seriously,
supposed to
I
do
think
with this?
you know what I was doing? I was watching The Honeymooners the other day, and Ralph Cramden, he was trying to blow that bugle. He was trying to hit that high note,
Mm-hmm.
and he needed to make a list. He had him and Norton making a list of all
Uh-huh.
his faults. So I was going to ask Linda to make a list of all my faults, but we didn't have enough time. There was
She's
only
got
Saturday
things
and
to
Sunday.
do,
I know,
yeah.
I'm only kidding. But seriously, Joe, you are very much appreciated, and I truly recognize you as a true human being, as a business person, as in the martial arts field, as a professional, and as a friend. And I thank you for joining us, the way you do on the show and everything.
It's always a
like that.
pleasure.
It
Absolutely.
says, I am a procrastinator dynamo.
That's true. Parting thoughts.
Dynamo.
Parting thoughts, Joe.
Respect, kindness. Don't take any garbage from anybody. Talk to someone who needs help, who wants to be talked to.
And throat punch them if you have to.
No, when you listen to someone, you actually can, when you listen to someone, you could actually probably save their life. I can be reached at New York Martial Arts in Huntington, 631-549-9612. And we've been there 52 years.
Very
Wow.
good. 52 years. Jay, parting thoughts, sir.
Well, if you guys missed any part of the show, we are on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Podsnack, Mixler, Spreaker, Tuner Radio, Facebook Live, Instagram, Periscope, Stream, YouTube, Don't forget, we are also on 92.1 iJuice FM in Kent, UK.
We still are.
We're also on Grey Cloud Radio, playing us shortly after we go off the air here, as well as Good Talk Radio in Mesa, Arizona, and Good Music Radio in Mesa, Arizona. Also, don't forget, we are also on your Spotify. Thank you all for joining us this morning. Charlie Kaufman, Soki Joe, and Heartbeat Farms. Thank you guys so much. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Great job.
And I want to leave everybody with this question. All right. If Cinderella's shoe fit perfectly, then why did it fall off?
Stiletto problems.
Do you know about that?
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
Even better question.
Yep, absolutely.
I played a drag queen on the show Vinyl.
And with that, we are Cop and Crew. He played a drag
Chase,
queen.
find that video.
All right.
It's the opening scene
Heartbeat
of the series
Farms.
Vinyl on HBO.
Heartbeat Farms. And just remember, like I say to myself all the time, I know the voices aren't real, but man, do they come up with some really great ideas. Have a great day, everybody. Remember, life is what happens.
When you're busy making other plans.
Wait, before we go, can I hear a good morning, Eric, from the girls? Listen to this. This is fabulous. I mean, hello? Hello, ladies.
Good morning, Eric.
Oh, can you imagine waking up to that? Oh, my God. Bye.
Oh, say, can you see